Read the clip notes, yeah. You could survive them.
You could make it work.
Some people use them, but it depends on the teacher you have, because sometimes they'll ask questions knowing that a lot of the students are only going to look at the Cliffs Notes.
Yeah.
And so it'll be a question where if you read it in depth, you know it. But if you only read the Cliffs Notes and you want to try and talk broadly about the question, you're going to get it dead wrong.
It was a contradiction. I think you could buy the Cliff Notes at the Superstore or the bookstore.
Oh, you absolutely could.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, they sold them at the Jack State Bookstore. Yeah.
Spinning wheel rack.
Yeah. That's
there.
I know.
Did you have breaking news?
It's interesting news, but it's not breaking.
This is an update. The AIDS monkey has been found.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought he was not infected with anything, though.
One of the monkeys that escaped last week after a truck overturned onto a Mississippi highway was shot and killed early Sunday morning by a woman who said she feared for the safety of her children.
How do we know this is the same monkey?
How many monkeys
They're
are loose?
tagged.
They're tagged.
Jessica Ferguson said she was alerted early Sunday by her 16-year-old son, who said he thought he had seen a monkey running in the yard outside of their home near Heidelberg, Mississippi. She got out of bed, grabbed her firearm and her cell phone, and stepped outside where she saw the monkey about 60 feet away.
Well, that's a good shot.
Now, Ferguson said she and other residents had been warned that escaped monkeys carry diseases, so she fired her gun. Quote, I did what any other mother would do to protect her kids.
Shot a monkey.
She's got 5 kids ranging from 4 to 16 years old. She said, I shot it. It just stood there. I shot again. He backed up, and that's when he fell.
Well, I tell you, if any kid below 8 watching that's going to be pretty traumatizing.
It is.
Mom shot a monkey.
Yeah, well, they're all dead now.
All right.
I feel safe.
That is Trash Today. Final hour of the show brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Interesting fact, after I tell you the interesting fact that the chicken is never under a heating lamp down at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. It's cooked to order, brined overnight. So good. Hand-cut chicken fingers. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. That taste, that hint of heat, that unique taste of the Delta. You get it with those Mississippi recipe tamales at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. From Awful Announcing, Disney, the corporation, is losing $5 million a day that it's not on YouTube TV.
It's a rounding error for Disney. But, I mean, that's a crazy number.
They're a $220 billion company.
Yeah, they don't notice $5 million a day.
$5 million a day, Brownie. Okay, what's a month?
30 days.
30 days times 5 is what?
$150 million.
Yeah.
But
$150 million.
They hadn't lost it for a month.
Yeah, so you're looking at $1.8 billion a year.
Yeah.
Okay. What about this?
Okay. No, I'm still impressed by the number, $5 million. Don't get me wrong.
ESPN College Game Day, I will do it the way political writers do it, lost 20% of their audience from when they were on YouTube TV to not on YouTube TV.
Right.
They went from 2.5 million to 2 million.
Uh-huh.
The actual games themselves, matchup dependent, of course, but the SEC on ABC window, on YouTube TV, 11 o'clock window, 6.6 million. Off YouTube TV, 4.5 million.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
I still have TVs that I haven't hooked up.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown,
Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, live show now on a Thursday as we get going. Connor O'Gara is going to be here at 9:30 Central, halfway through hour number 1. Dan Orlovsky in the final hour of the show, hour 3, if you don't know, we're a 3-hour show. Coming up later on to talk about a wonderful weekend in the NFL. We're going to get to, we don't have the sound because of what's it called? Copyrights?
Copyrights.
Yeah.
I assume you're talking about Josh Pate.
Yeah, Josh
copyrights, yes.
Josh Pate's comments on Bussin' with the Boys. Interesting. I sent it to Lance and Brownie. Forrester and I were talking about it just so we were all talking. I couldn't play it for you guys to hear it. At the end of Bussin' and the Boys with Pate on there, he throws in a little end of the show hand grenade on these coaching searches going on, and he says, keep an eye on Lincoln Riley. That's all he says. Episode ends.
I told you guys 3 weeks ago, I said it multiple times, that he is going to be linked with Brian Kelly. They came in at the same time, kind of equivalent programs when you talk about the expectations, the money, and the results were kind of equivalent. So if you're going to fire Brian Kelly, watch out for Lincoln Riley. And
I took this differently.
No, well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is he going to take another one of these jobs? If he does, he is completely selling out USC, in my opinion.
Yeah. I would agree. As a USC fan, you should hate it. But if a guy doesn't want to be there, you shouldn't want him to stay there.
He has gotten more and more support as this has gone on, and the results haven't been good. I mean, he's coming off a year where he was sub 500 in conference. They've still got everything in front of them. Like, he could still get to a college football playoff this year. The thing I thought about was LSU. Is that what you're thinking?
Oh, that was obviously what I was thinking. Yeah.
If it's LSU, then maybe he hated the fact that back in 2022 when he took this job, a lot of people were like, he's running from the SEC.
Yeah.
Now he has an opportunity to say, hey, I'm taking the premier job or one of the 3 premier jobs in the SEC, and I'll show you guys.
Yeah, I'm not running from anybody. Yeah. Here I am. I just didn't like where I was at Oklahoma going to the SEC, and it's proven to be a tough job.
But this will show you what dumbasses LSU are, though. How do you fire Brian Kelly and you hire Lincoln Riley? They've done the same thing.
Well, one's considered an offensive genius.
Exactly. So was Brian Kelly. And well, they have a show for that.
Was he? I mean, I'm
saying 1 year he was an offensive genius. They had the best quarter. They had
2
the best
years
player in
with
America.
Jaden Daniels. They had a top 5 offense and a top 10 offense.
Well, I'm just saying that Brian Kelly's I know his background and stuff, but he's a great head coach. Okay. But Lincoln Riley's a offensive genius, apparently.
Then let me restate. What year was that Daniels won the Heisman?
23.
Yeah, 23.
Okay. Did LSU fans like 2023, do you think?
No.
They liked it
they
because
they
thought it was a step to what was about to happen.
Well, you're going to get, if you hire Lincoln Riley, 2023 is your every year. That's every year you'll play football is 2023 for LSU. So if LSU like that, go hire Lincoln Riley because you are going to get that better than Brian Kelly could have delivered it.
His first 4 years, he wins Big 12 championships at Oklahoma, goes to the college football playoff, but he's got nothing to show. So to me, Brian Kelly has accomplished much more in his career. And again, I'm a Lincoln Riley fan. I just don't get why LSU would get rid of Brian Kelly and go get Lincoln Riley.
Now, again, all Pate said was keep an eye on Lincoln Riley. I mean, there could be something else.
He could be getting blown out. I mean, if they lose a game over the next couple of weeks, it would not shock me.
Well, then how could you be mad that he's selling USC out, but if he gets fired,
I don't think he should be fired.
Yeah,
I don't.
There's no way they'd fire him.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, I mean, I would have said that about Brian Kelly. I mean, what's the difference?
LSU's had more success of late than USC, so it was
late.
I'm just saying it was a harder bar for Brian Kelly to meet expectations than Lincoln Riley.
I mean, I know
you give me that.
No, I give you that, but Brian Kelly's actually got a better overall record at LSU than Lincoln Riley's got at USC.
I would say
LSU's a better program.
I would say that there's
no doubt.
Yeah.
It seemed to me that there's more money spent on football at LSU than at USC.
I would almost guarantee it. Yeah,
but they have started to spend.
Yeah. What will they spend on a buyout? Well, I guess would be my question about.
And I thought it was Pate, and I could be wrong here, and I'd love to go back and pull this, but we asked specifically about Lincoln Riley losing his job to one of our bigger guests, and they were like, there is no way with the buyout in place.
I took it when he said that. Pate said that it was Lincoln Riley in the mix to take one of these big jobs. And I can't see him at Penn State.
Yeah.
I don't think you leave USC for Auburn or Arkansas or Virginia Tech or UCLA or Oklahoma State or Stanford.
Or even Florida.
Florida, if you wanted to get back in the South. That would be the only reason.
From Sports Illustrated, reliable source.
It depends on who's writing it.
Yes. Let me go back up and look and see who writes this. It is
and they did start putting the big women on the SI swimsuit issue,
Zachary
right?
McKinnell. I've never heard of the guy.
I don't know him, so I can't speak.
Sports Illustrated. I mean, this probably is fairly well-known information if they're going to put it in there. Lincoln Riley, and this is from last month. Lincoln Riley has the second highest buyout in college football totaling. Now, you know what the biggest one is. You told us. I had not heard this.
It's Kirby Smart, $110 million.
Yeah, this is close to $100 million.
Yeah,
90.
98, I had heard. But
90 is what it says. Trailing only if USC were to make the decision to fire Riley. It would be the most expensive buyout in college football history.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening. When I say there's no way they're going to fire him, not at $90 million. I know there's a ceiling somewhere on this, right?
Yeah.
There's a ceiling somewhere.
And that's back to the point where it was Pate or Klatt or whoever said, look, he ain't going anywhere.
I always get confused on which days. I know Sunday night's the one I watch. I forget what other days Pate does his show.
Tuesday and Thursday normally.
Tuesday and Thursday. So tonight, tune in to Pate's show and see if he sheds a little more light on his Lincoln Riley.
Even more importantly, again, I like Lincoln Riley. He is definitely underachieved right now in year 4. Now, again, this thing could break the right way, and they end up 10-2, and they get to a college football playoff. But do you think LSU fans would be excited about Lincoln Riley?
No.
I don't think so either.
I don't.
Not that matters.
I don't, because I think they know, as LSU fans are smart enough to know, this guy does not have the commitment to defense it takes to win in the SEC or win a national championship. Lincoln
now
Riley.
Close your eyes and he keeps Blake Baker.
Close your eyes. It doesn't matter, Jim. He went and hired. Give me the Todd
Alex Grinch.
Alex Grinch. That's right, not Todd Orlando.
Yeah,
He had
I love
Todd
the way you
Orlando.
always look to him to remember a name.
Right, he's USC.
DeAnton Lynn, over the last couple of years, has done a better job. A simple question. I mean, who has done a better job in their 3+ years, Lincoln Riley or Brian Kelly?
Brian Kelly, but would you give me that LSU was not as broken as USC was?
Yes, 100%.
Okay,
LSU's a better program, and LSU was in a better situation.
I mean, they were broken that damn. I mean, Ed Orgeron did everything he could to break them.
Yeah.
But that says a lot about the LSU program.
I mean,
Anyway,
that is true. When Brian Kelly took over, there were 30. Didn't they play that bowl game with 39 scholarship players?
It was something like that. Yeah, it was the Houston Bowl, I think it was.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say.
We call it the Texas Bowl.
The Texas Bowl. Is it in Houston, Jim?
Yeah.
Here's what I would say. Would you give me that Florida fans would be more excited about Lincoln Riley than LSU fans? And I've got a reason why I think that's the case.
Yeah,
because it's Steve Spurrier-esque.
That's right.
Yeah.
Florida is
it's a visor.
And it's a visor. Florida is a team that is more accustomed to being offensively driven than LSU is. Now, LSU's had some great offensive teams. Don't mishear me saying that. I mean, the Joe Burrow team is perhaps the best we've ever seen. You know, the Jaden Daniels year was a spectacular individual year. But I think Florida traditionally has been built more on offense than LSU, who's traditionally been, to me, built more on defense and physicality. And you do not get that from Lincoln Riley. So I think Florida would actually be somewhat excited about Lincoln Riley. But I think any fan base that's been paying attention would look at his track record and say, he can – I guess people could change at any time, but this guy has refused to change, and he's been a head coach 15 years?
Who, Lincoln?
Lincoln.
No, not
12?
that long.
10?
Probably 10.
This guy's got a decade that he's refused to change. People can change at any time. But unless he changes, you're not going to win an SEC playing that way, and you're not going to win a national championship.
I will say, though, he has started to evolve a little bit in this regard. Like, they run the football. Like, they're – offense really is predicated more on running the football this year than it ever has under him. And then DeAnton Lynn's defense is better in year 2. So he did go out. He made a commitment to defense to get the right guy in. It is going in the right direction.
All right, so that's what Josh Pate said as a throwaway line into the end of the Bussin' with the Boys segment that he's on every week. You can get that wherever you get Bussin' and the Boys, same place you get us. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, Apple, Spotify. On the audio side, we appreciate being with us Next Round Live at Next Round Live on all of our social media platforms. Before Brownie tells us about Alexander Shinara and we talk about current LSU team and interim coach Frank Wilson coming to town to play Alabama, I want to tell you about Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. November's the month to remember for big games. It's also a great month to get a roof inspection absolutely free from Greg from Pell City. It's the end of summer here in the Deep South, and that heat and wind and storms can do a number on your roof. Why not get a free, no-cost, no-obligation roof inspection from Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing? 3 ways you can get in contact for that free, no-cost roof inspection. Go to his website, stormrestorationroofing.com, or you can go to his Facebook page, Greg from Pell City, or just call Greg Nelson up on his cell phone, 205-542-3531, 542-3531. Listen, Greg and his wife, Andrea, they are wonderful, first of all, a wonderful couple. 10 kids. But they also are wonderful business owners, A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. And being locally owned has helped Greg do a number of things. One of them is develop a wonderful relationship with the insurance agents, which means they're going to give you the absolute best on a Greg roof, right? The best coverage you can get. And if there is a little extra needed, he's got some financing options. Roof replacement, storm damage repairs, and everything you need. Greg from Pell City, Storm Restoration Roofing, and our friend Alexander Shinara.
When it comes time for an attorney in your life, Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys is the stop. Shinara.com is where you start. Shinara.com. You do not pay a dime unless they win your case. Alexander Shinara, Birmingham born, Birmingham bred. He always wanted to create a firm that handled what his community would face. So they now not only handle personal injury claims, but claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. Again, when you find yourself in need of an attorney, there is one stop for you. It is Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
Okay, there's this thing called stop rate. It's a defensive stat. Basically, every drive that ends in a punt, a turnover, or a turnover on downs, that's your stop rate. Number 1 in the country is Ohio State, 83% stop rate. They're really good. All right? Or the teams they played are really bad, a combination of both. Yes.
Do you know the answer to this question? Is there more value to like stopping with a turnover, stopping with a punt, or is it just as long as they don't score, it is all scored the same?
Drives that either end in punts, turnovers, or turnovers
so
or
those
downs.
are all scored the same?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, sorry.
Yeah.
Did
and
not mean to interrupt.
everything else is a score.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. All right, go ahead.
I'm getting to a point here. So
Okay.
if I give you these 5 schools rank in the SEC, rank them for me. You don't have to do dry erase. Auburn, LSU, Alabama, Texas, and Texas A&M 1 through 5 on stop rate.
What I think their stop rate is?
Not the number, just who's the best stop rate of those 5 down to who's the worst. Here's the 5 teams again. Auburn, LSU, Alabama, Texas, Texas A&M.
Okay, and this is defensively.
Yeah, stop rate. Drives that ends in punts, turnovers, or turnovers when downs. Ohio State's the best in the country at 83%. By the way, while you're planning this out, San Diego State's number 2. Texas Tech is 3. Oregon is 4. Iowa's 5. Indiana's 6. Utah is 7. Toledo is 8.
This is hard.
I'm going to say this is relatively easy.
Okay, you thought it was easy. I thought it was hard.
And I think Dunaway asked it for a reason.
I am trying to read into that. Yeah,
I've read into it. Auburn's number 1.
Auburn is not of that list.
I actually think Alabama's number 1, which is why you brought this up.
Alabama is not number 1 on that list.
You threw us a curveball.
I thought for sure Auburn would be 1 and A&M would be 5. The undefeated would be 5.
Okay, so if I'm not trying to read your mind,
just pretend. Okay, pretend I'm doing a factual, serious football conversation, not playing mind games.
Then I'm going to go Texas, Texas A&M. Auburn, LSU, Alabama.
Well, even if you wouldn't have asked it, I would have gone Auburn, Texas, Alabama, LSU, A&M.
Texas is number 1.
Okay.
I'm not surprised.
SEC.
Yeah, not surprised.
Number 9 in the country. I did not ask you this team, but Oklahoma is number 12 in the country, 2nd in the SEC.
Okay.
Number 3 in the SEC and number 20 in the country.
Roll Tide.
LSU.
Oh, I keep trying to read your mind. I'm swinging and missing.
LSU. So here comes LSU,
Yeah.
a top 20 stop rate defense.
With no help from their offense.
No help from
Yep.
the offense, coming in to play Alabama this weekend. More on the rest of the list in a second. But here's Ryan Grubb, Alabama's OC, trying to find an offense that can run the football, and they need to run it a little bit on Saturday night against LSU, and down the road if they're going to beat teams like Ohio State in the playoffs, need to run the football. So Ryan Grubb, where's the disconnect on the run game?
There's probably no absolutes, but when you look at the running game, are you seeing a lack of vision? Are you seeing a lack of blocking? Where's the disconnect between what you guys are calling and getting the production on the field?
Well, it's all, it's not one thing. It never is, whether it's pass protection, run blocking, all those things work together. So for us, I think, it's runners pushing the hole enough, make sure that we're pressing the cut long enough. It's the type of double teams, it's the execution of the double teams. And so certainly, from the previous question, that's obviously one of the things that we've spent a lot of time on, evaluating types of runs, the type of double team, how we're coaching those things, how we're talking to the guys, the communication at the line of scrimmage, everything was up for grabs. So for us, I think reassessing some of the things that we do well and that we execute at a high level, and that the guys, that it pretty much, suits the runners that we have. So we've really looked at that, and I think the last two practices have done a really, really good job on that.
So they've had a bye week here, a chance maybe to take everything you've done since that bye week before Georgia, which, by the way, I thought was maybe not numerically, not stat-wise, but I thought as far as effectiveness was Alabama's best running game against a quality opponent.
I think you're probably right.
Where they got enough yardage and was committed to the run game to beat a really good defense. And now coming off another bye week, sounds like Ryan Grubb's adjusted some schematic things to try to help this run game be a little bit more effective.
So I threw this out to Suttles yesterday. You guys probably haven't watched Bama and Bourbon yet, but Alabama has one 100-yard rushing game against a Power 4.
Yeah, and that's not a rusher. That's a team rushing stat,
well,
right?
No, this is a rusher.
No, it's got to be a rusher.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, their conference average is 114.
114, barely over 100.
But, I mean, that's hard to
great.
believe. Can you guys just pull it out of your head who the rusher is and who the opponent was?
And you said it was Power 5?
Yeah.
I'm going to say
But it's hard to believe we're this deep in the season with an Alabama team that is really good that only has one guy that has that performance.
I'm going to say it was Riley in the loss to Florida State.
Is he incorrect?
He is incorrect.
I am going to say it was.
So it was in a win.
In Wisconsin, but who was the runner? Because Miller was hurt against Wisconsin, wasn't he? Was it not Wisconsin?
It was Vanderbilt, Jam Miller.
Jam Miller.
132,
I had the right back.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a really long run, didn't he?
On that fourth down to cover.
Yeah.
It was like a 30-yard run. But I think he was right at 100 before. But, I mean, that's hard to believe, even though they're struggling to be this deep in the season and only have one guy that's busted that number.
Now, in fairness, we always talk about the run game, but with the way Ty Simpson can call the audibles at the line, he's really good at just the short, extended passes to the edge, which at times becomes an extended run play through the passing game. So it's and Bernard and the little sweeps and jet sweeps and things like that technically are extensions of the run game, but traditional line it up, run the football, the team is still trying to find an answer there.
I've been sitting on this this stat for a minute. So now is the perfect time to bring it up. What?
The way you were working over there with the little pen and paper, it looks like you literally sat on it for a minute.
No, I did. I had to go back and get the numbers. Is how long I keep meaning to bring it up, and there's so much to talk about. We don't, it just doesn't have a window to get open, right? Yep. And I didn't think it was going to change, so I didn't.
I love these. What do you have?
Are you rushing me?
No,
I got to get one more number.
Okay. Let me finish this list of stop rate.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, this is about Alabama rush offense. So come back.
So here's the stop rate in the defense, and as Brown gives you this other number here, I want to just finish this thought because we all think you haven't heard me mention one team yet, so you'll hear it in a second.
Yes.
I haven't mentioned Auburn or Georgia.
Or Alabama, have you?
Oh, no, yeah. Stop rate, number 1 in the SEC, Texas, 9th in the country. Oklahoma, 2 in the SEC, 12th in the country. LSU, 3rd in the SEC, 20th in the country. Alabama, 4th in the SEC, 22nd in the country.
Hey, that's really pretty good.
Really good. Missouri, 5th in the SEC, 24th in the country.
It's a good defense.
Auburn, 6th in the SEC, 26th in the country. Texas A&M, 7th in the SEC, 34th in the country. Who have I not mentioned yet? Georgia. Georgia's stop rate, 8th in the SEC and number 42 in the country. This is so un-Georgia.
I know, but if you watch Georgia, what has plagued them all year, I've heard Kirby say this at halftime. It feels like every week. We can't get them off the field on third down. I mean, in fact, let me pull this up.
But as you pull that, I mean, the good news is we all agree the most important metric in defense is what?
Scoring. It's the stop rate.
Yeah,
scoring.
Yeah. Scoring defense. They're 26 nationally in scoring defense. They're giving up less than 20 points per game. So, it's not – I mean, you could almost book Georgia as a top 10 scoring defense every year under Kirby. So they have gone backwards, but they're still good enough to win a championship. We were talking to a Georgia fan last night. I was like, man, it's great that you guys only have one loss. It just seems light years away from where you were. But he brought up the point, like, somebody's got to win it, which is true. Like, once Georgia gets into a 12-team playoff, I guess they could win it. Just looks a lot different.
I'm having a hard time seeing anybody beat Ohio State right now.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We don't have a gauge. I mean, Sayin played a really good defense in Texas in his first start, and they only scored 14 points.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's true.
So Georgia's opponents are converting 40%. It's just a hair under 40% of fourth downs. So 4 out of every 10 third downs, their opponent now. And you're like, well, what's a good number?
Less than 40?
Less than 40, yeah. Texas A&M leads the conference at 22%. So Texas A&M a full 18% below Georgia. Teams you watch probably more frequently in our audience, Auburn, 33%. Significantly better. Alabama, 37%, slightly better. Arkansas is the worst of the conference at 42. Georgia's at 40. I mean, 40% of the time teams are converting third downs on Georgia. That's why their stop rate's where it is. They cannot get people off the field consistently.
Only 2 other SEC teams in the top 50 in stop rate. Florida is 44, and Ole Miss is 47. Only 64% of drives against Pete Golding's defense ends in a punt, a turnover, or a turnover on downs.
I don't think Golding's ever going to get credit for anything he ever does.
Yep.
He does. But he's done his best coaching at Ole Miss ever.
Oh, yeah.
So, interesting stop rate and a challenge facing Alabama this weekend when you think, okay, poor LSU, interim coach, easy win for Alabama. 20th in the nation, 3rd in the SEC stop rate, coming up against that Alabama offense over at Bryant-Denny Stadium this weekend. Don't forget, tomorrow we are at the Rabbit Hole. Our show moves 11 to 2. 11 to 2 tomorrow is our show time. Almost a typical Friday showtime for us now. Rabbit Hole this week. Next Friday, back over at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa. I don't think Lance will be with us next Friday.
I will not be with you guys. I will. I'll be on some. I don't know. Or can I be on at all, Brown?
Yeah, we can talk about that later. But Rabbit Hole and Innisfree next 2 Fridays, 11 to 2, both those shows. So make plans to be with us with our friends at Bud Light and Adams Beverage and all that coming up the next 2 days. Yes.
And one thing, Brown, I haven't told you yet, but if you don't care, Aaron and I are going to do a live Bama and Bourbon right after the show, because the collective, Yay Alabama, has got their 2 new bourbons that are out. And so we're going to preview those if that's okay with everybody.
I'll submit it for approval.
Okay.
All right. So welcome to our show meeting right here as we tell you about our friends at CPAP. Sleep Home Alabama, the fine folks at CPAP getting you ready for another night's sleep. We'll talk a little bit of NFL before we get to Connor O'Gara in the next segment.
Yeah, our guys at CPAP Plus, they want to remind you got a really good deal going on right now. If you're on a CPAP, listen up. Our friends at O'Neill Medical, CPAP Plus, they're running their Show Your Score promotion right now. Just stop by one of their stores, Pelham, Trustful, or Inverness on Highway 280. No appointment needed. Show your ResMed My Air sleep score. You're automatically entered to win a brand new ResMed Air Mini Travel CPAP worth $900. The Show Your Score raffle runs through December 31st, so don't miss it. Get all the details, o'neillmed.com. That's ONEAL med.com.
Hey, if you're celebrating a win or you're just celebrating a good time at the game, our friends at Culver's, that is a great place to do that celebration. Everything from the butter burgers, those juicy butter burgers, to the creamy, fresh frozen custard, crispy crinkle-cut fries, gooey golden cheese curds. There's something for everyone in your crew to enjoy. Win or lose, Culver's is the perfect place to celebrate the sweetest memories you'll make all season long. So stop by Culver's in Birmingham, Stadium Trace in Tattersall Park. Make this game day a delicious one. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. Can I do the rushing?
Yeah,
stat now?
absolutely, yeah.
'Cause I've been sitting on this a minute. Alabama right now averages 118 a game. You would probably say, well, maybe, how does that compare to what Kalen DeBoer normally does? Because we've always heard Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer like to run the football.
Yeah.
I got that answer for you, and I think you'll find it intriguing. His last year at Washington, which is a good team, by the way, played for the national championship. Alabama averages 118 a game. You know what he averaged at Washington that year?
I'm going to say, because you're smiling, 118.
118 a game.
118.
Now, they
I
did
like
have a
that.
1,000-yard rusher in
Yeah.
Dylan Johnson. So
Yeah.
that's why it looks so different, though.
The year before that at Washington, was that a good team?
Yeah.
22?
Yeah, they had 10 wins.
146 a game. The year before that, he was the head coach at Fresno State, 137 a game. The year before that, he was the head coach at Fresno State, 132 a game. His best rushing year ever as a head coach was last year, 173 a game. Now, I would point to that and say he also had a rushing quarterback like he's never had. He had a rushing quarterback like almost nobody's ever had before in Jalen Milroe. So I think that's more of an outlier. The point I make here is while 118 is low, it's really not that far off from what Kalen DeBoer has always been. And I say that to say sometimes you are what your stats say you are, and we can keep talking about Alabama can improve the rush game. They can do this better. They do this better. Sometimes it's just who you are, and I'm not certain this is not just who Alabama is. As frustrating as it can be to watch, I think we've had enough sample size to say it's probably not going to improve a ton, and we've got enough Kalen DeBoer sample size to say it's kind of in line with the way his teams have always played.
That's why I go back to the Georgia game where it felt like it was always 2nd and 7 in that game. And that was a good game for Alabama's offense because it was 2nd and 7. That allowed it to be 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 1, and they got third downs, and they ended up rolling on down the field and beating Georgia on the road. LSU in town this weekend. We'll talk NFL later in the show with Dan Orlovsky. Connor O'Gara coming up on the other side. The show being brought to you by Lance's Lock. Lance'sLock.com, presented by our great friends at Hemphill.
Rough night last night. Had the under in the Toledo game, and boy, you get Northern Illinois scoring 3 points.
Yeah,
but
you kind of like your odds there, don't you?
Crept over, yeah. So not a good night at Lance'sLock.com. We bounce back, though. NFL, Week 10 starting out. We've got college football. We've got NBA. We've got college basketball. All available at Lance's Lock, where you get a free play every single day. 7-0 on the free plays last week. We had an incredible week last week. We're about to start rolling this weekend. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, Trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Think about the best summer nights of your life. How many of those were in a great t-shirt? Visit nextround.store to get the perfect t-shirt for the next perfect southern night. Nextround.store. The memories are waiting.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. Nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at Nextround.store. Take the next round anywhere with Nextround.store.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Hey, before Brownie tells you about Alabama Power, listen, you guys make fun of me that I get tired of a car or truck like every 11 months.
Yeah.
Nothing like Penn Wagering, who can't hold on to anybody longer than a year. Barstool, and now ESPN, and ESPN Bet's going away. They're changing the name to The Score Bet, and Penn Wagering and ESPN are sort of drifting apart a little bit. Those people can't hold a relationship.
Well, at least Penn Wagering didn't sell Barstool back to
for a buck
for nothing, so they could get in bed with ESPN.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is pretty crazy. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, Alabama Powers. We go to Connor O'Gary. He's going to bring the power. Severe weather can pop up when you least expect it. Is why Alabama Power is always ready with tech and know-how to get your power back on fast with tools to prevent outages and a team on call 24/7. They are there to help keep you safe and in the loop. You can stay ahead, too. Head to alabamapower.com/storm for storm safety tips, how to report an outage, and how to stay updated when storms are coming. That's alabamapower.com/storm. Connor O'Gara always plugged in. That would have been the better transition there. Always plugged in. Connor, what is up, my friend? How are you today?
Gentlemen, doing well. I feel like I have to disclose this. Dunaway just sent me a text. I miss you. I'm literally right in front of you guys. Like I don't know how I can be missed.
So I'm sitting here watching.
You're literally looking at me.
Watching you do an interview with Brown yesterday. I put my earbuds in, but I didn't have any music playing because I wanted to hear what y'all were talking about because of my FOMO. And you're a guy that eats so many innings for us. Out of season.
Eats innings?
Yeah, I mean,
I love that.
Yeah.
Look, I will. That is actually a very, very big compliment for what I do, because if I were just a seasonal guy with college football, I'm not an innings eater, but I do truly pride myself on being able to have these conversations and, not just be able to talk about them when games are going on, but to be able to, provide entertainment in beginning of June when nobody has any idea what in the world they're going to, do to pass the time. So innings eater is a perfectly fine thing to be called.
Well, I tell the Sirius XM producer that gets me on occasionally, I told him that he texted me last week and he was like, hey, can you help me out Sunday morning? And I said, dude, I told you, I am the guy that anytime you're in a jam, you get canceled on, that can be your easy get out. So I just feel like we should have you on more during the season. I'm happy when we get you is all I meant. I miss you this time of year. I love you when we get you on 6 times in July when there's nothing to talk about. You're a great inning eater.
This is basically him asking you to ask him to be on your show.
That's right.
Oh, I think I was on it before.
Look, we're
Brown.
good. We can do that.
Yeah, I did the Conor O'Gara podcast way before Brown.
Yes. So I noticed he moved to me. So on the Alexander Chenard trial attorneys hotline, it's where you find Conor O'Gara Saturday down south. I want to ask a broader question because we started the show talking about Lincoln Riley perhaps moving to another place. We posed the question, would LSU fans be happy if LSU went out and stole Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma? Do you think LSU fans would be happy with that? Or excuse me, from USC, not from Oklahoma. Do you think they would be happy with that?
Yeah, Oklahoma fans wouldn't be happy with that.
No, absolutely.
No, I don't think so. I think that there are a lot of people looking at what Lincoln Riley has done and going, wait a minute, why is he considered worthy of these 3 premier jobs, if that's indeed the speculation that I know Josh Pate has brought up as well? And I'm sitting here going, guys, like, I think there's a more economical way to get to the places you want to go that don't go through Lincoln Riley. I just think that the way that things have ended, if things have ended so poorly with 2 different premier programs, which would be Oklahoma and USC, why would you want to sign up to be the 3rd? That's the thing that I'm struggling to kind of grasp, because let's be honest, like, USC's been all right this year. This has been all right. But if he's leaving, it's a sign that he doesn't think he can handle this. And if you can't handle it with your house, with the 12 bathrooms and the burnt brisket and all that crap that you got going on there, then why do you think you're going to handle it at LSU?
Yeah, and Connor, I've always said that him and Brian Kelly are kind of handcuffed because they came in at the same time. The jobs are kind of comparable, making kind of same money, the expectation kind of the same at both places. And the fact of the matter is Brian Kelly did more in his 3+ years at LSU than Lincoln Riley did at USC. That's why it blows me away.
Yeah, I mean, both had a Heisman Trophy winner, but, Brian Kelly went to a conference championship at least. And meanwhile, Lincoln Riley is sitting there. And this is something that hasn't been talked about enough, and I'm curious if you guys have ever brought this up, but it was something Matt Hayes wrote about for USA Today last year. And Lincoln Riley got hit with an NCAA punishment about having too many analysts in on-field roles, and they changed that rule the following year. So he basically committed a violation the last possible year that you could commit this violation, and he kind of quietly got put on probation last year, or not probation, but like they handed out this punishment, and essentially it was like, hey, USC could fire him with cause if they wanted to and get out of this $80 million buyout if they really wanted to. Now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen, and no doubt Lincoln Riley would take him to court if that ever resurfaced, because it'd be like, why didn't you just fire me at the time if it was such a big detriment and I was still recruiting really well? But just a weird situation, LT, and I'm sure it's one that you're kind of just struggling to find the optimism in.
Yeah, I'm interested with the Auburn opening. We love John Sumrall, his ties to the state and the area and the job he has done in his coaching career. Do you feel like it's John Sumrall's job at Auburn, or do you feel like there are other candidates that could pop into the conversation down there? What's your take on the Auburn job as we move through this search over the next month?
John Sumrall, not Lane Kiffin, is the most fascinating person in this cycle, because there's a really good chance, and this is something that Ryan and I talked about on my show yesterday, there's a really good chance that we just wake up tomorrow morning and, Lane Kiffin signed an extension, he's staying at Ole Miss. And that's not necessarily going to come off as some massive surprise, whereas John Sumrall, this is his time. I mean, this is his time. He can say all the right things about the job that he's done at Tulane, and he could talk about how we're focused on being able to win the American and all these different things, but this is his time with the market that's setting up to be really favorable for him, because look at all these vacancies. He's got experience in the state of Alabama, and that could make him the obvious candidate for Auburn. It can make him kind of the no-nonsense target in which this search doesn't go a billion different ways. But if you're LSU, why wouldn't you look at a guy that's already coaching in your state? If you're Florida, why wouldn't you look at a guy that seemingly has a track record all over the South? And then, oh, by the way, his alma mater, Kentucky, is sitting there going, wait a minute, I thought that was our coach in waiting, and now we might have to make a $37 million decision on Mark Stoops to be able to still be fourth in that line to get John Summerall. He's going to be highly coveted, and in my opinion, it's just a matter of where he wants to go and where he feels like he has the most alignment. Maybe that does end up being Auburn.
Connor O'Gara is with us at CJ O'Gara on social media. Read him at Saturday and South. Get his podcast everywhere you get our podcast, and make sure you subscribe, set your alerts so you know when Connor drops content there. Always good college football content. His latest guest, Ryan Brown from the Next Round in Birmingham, Alabama.
Good guy.
Yes, I've heard. Connor, we always talk Indiana. I joked with Connor about this. We always talk Indiana when he comes out because Connor, if you don't know, is an Indiana grad. So they're relevant now. I was thinking about this morning in anticipation of talking to you. He's done a year and a half, basically, a year and 3/4. And this may be the only time you've ever been able to do this. Can you say through a year and 3/4 that Curt Cignetti is already the greatest football coach in Indiana football history?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think you can.
I mean, think about that.
You can.
A year and 3/4, and you can already say, yeah, that's
his first back-to-back 9-0 seasons ever.
I know. I mean, it's a testament to how bad your school has been at football, but still, that's pretty remarkable.
The worst.
Yeah.
The most losses of any Division I program. The most losses.
Right.
Guys, Indiana is still searching for its first postseason win since 1991. I couldn't use a toilet yet. I'm 35. There are things about this program that I think we're like, you know what? It's like it's a basketball school that's found some success in football, and it's kind of fun or whatever. And there are plenty of programs like this across the country. I don't think people are able to fully grasp just how bad the history of Indiana football is. It is a true joke, and it is why Curt Cignetti is getting this treatment. And there are people that'll look at that contract and go, man, in 3 years they're going to be looking up and going, what a ridiculous buyout, and they need to find a way out of this. It'll still have been worth it to get these 2 seasons that just don't ever happen. Individually, they don't happen. The fact that they're happening back to back is insane to me. He's so much closer to statue territory than so many coaches in college football. And it is, like I say it every single time I come on here, it's really hard to process. Like, you're, as an Indiana grad, you're just waiting for the worst possible thing to happen, for him to turn into a pumpkin and for this program to stop dominating football games. But I am no longer holding my breath on that.
I don't know if you've seen the 80s classic Hard to Kill with Steven Seagal and Kelly LeBrock at her finest. But anyway, he wakes up after a coma. He's shot by a bunch of mob members, and he wakes up, months later. We posed this yesterday. If you went and you looked at the first college football playoff rankings of the season, and you had just woken up from mid-August, what is the first thing that would jump out to you?
How is Indiana at number 2? If we're being 100% honest, that's the thing. Because I think I told you guys 8-4 was my most optimistic projection. But I'll do what the selection committee did. I'll turn my hat in at the door, my homer hat.
So dumb.
Sure it takes all their bias away.
What about Clemson not being in the top 25?
That's the one. That's gotta be the one. And look, I could point to my national championship pick, LSU, not being in the top 25 as well. Let's call it fair on both sides there, but that's got to be the one. The fact that Clemson is sitting here with 3 wins right now in the first ranking of the college football playoff is so hard to fathom. And I felt like I was the guy in the offseason who was saying, look, let's chill on this Clemson hype of they're going to get back to their latter half of the 2010s ways. I think they still had a lot of issues defending the run. I think that they still had questions on the defensive side of the ball that weren't necessarily being addressed with all the first round talent that they had on that defensive line. And by the way, they had a converted wide receiver as their starting running back. There were a lot of things that we still needed to kind of figure out. And by the way, they couldn't beat an SEC team last year. So all of a sudden, we're just led to believe that they're going to win a national championship. I just wasn't necessarily buying that. And I had them in the semifinal. So I'm just blown away that it's gone this badly. I did not forecast Dabo Swinney falling off the face of the earth like this and making headlines for calling out refs instead of, actual on-field games, because Clemson's just a joke.
Scary time for Vandy and Alabama home games against interim coaches. More likely to pull the upset this weekend. Auburn at Vandy or LSU at Alabama?
I'm going to say Auburn at Vandy because it's a Diego Pavia, Hugh Freeze thing. And, Hugh Freeze isn't there anymore. And all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute. So DJ Durkin, the guy that held that Vandy offense to 227 yards in that game last year, in which Vandy's offense did nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. They got that leaping penalty to extend that drive that everybody was kind of like, wait a minute, how is that called in this spot? And DJ Durkin's defense has been great this year. I know I saw the stat from the barn about how they're one of 3 teams in college football that have yet to allow 25 points in a game, and the other 2 are Indiana and Ohio State, the 2 top teams in the country. Auburn's defense is legit good, at least in the front 7. And so I could see that playing out. Beware of interim coach energy. We're not going to call it ice or anything like that. We're going to stay away from that, just all the obvious reasons. But interim coach energy could very much be in the favor of LSU. Like the 2 times they've had an interim coach in the last decade against Bama, they've kept it within 10. Both of those were at Ocheron, 2016, 2021. So like Frank Wilson going in Tuscaloosa and kind of keeping it close against the Bama team with a margin of victory in SEC play of 9 points. Like I think that could stay close, but Vandy losing to Auburn seems a little bit more realistic than LSU going into Tuscaloosa and winning there.
Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South at CJ O'Gara on social media with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. From the outside looking in, Oregon at Iowa would normally get played as this fast-paced offense that loves to move it against this slow, grinding defense. Are we overplaying both of those a little bit? How do you see this Oregon-Iowa game playing out?
Man, this game is being slept on. And this slate overall is kind of being slept on because I think it's better than some people are realizing. But I think points will – I still kind of think points will be at a premium. And I know that the Iowa offense has been on a tear, which what's a tear for the Iowa offense? Like scoring 2 touchdowns in the first half of a game. Basically, like Gronowski looks like the part finally. And I have like all my Iowa buddies, like two of my 3 best friends in the world are Iowa grads. And so I'll text them about all things Iowa. And they had written him off and the entire offense off a month ago. And that's very much changed. But I still tend to think this is a good spot for Dan Lanning. I think this is the type of atmosphere that he can kind of handle, and I think that they can handle this, resurgent Iowa offense. And Dante Moore is still going to be able to make big time plays. So it's a really, really intriguing Big Ten battle that's probably not being talked about enough. But I do think that Oregon is going to be standing there at the end, even though their resume right now with that Penn State win, the way that it's aged, not looking as good as it once did.
It's in play that Mississippi State on Saturday could beat Georgia in Starkville. They played everybody outside of A&M on the road tight. We've said it for weeks, if not months, that Jeff Lebby has the most improved product in college football. What's crazy to me, Connor, if they win this game, I think people will start talking about him possibly, 2 and done at Mississippi State and getting one of these big jobs. If they just keep it close, nobody's talking about Jeff Lebby, which is really strange because it seems, I know it's a small sample size, it seems like this guy knows how to build a program.
Yeah, and very much a few close wins away. They led at the 2-minute timeout against Tennessee and Texas. They should have beat Florida too on the road, and for whatever reason made that inexplicable decision to throw the football in that spot there when they looked like they were in field goal range. So yeah, they're a team that right now could have a lot more wins, and who knows if they beat Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. People are talking about Mississippi State a lot more. I think there's still a little bit more skepticism with Jeff Lebby, and I'm not sure he wants to leave that situation yet. He has alignment with Zach Selman, the AD, both of those guys coming from Oklahoma. I mean, I think there is something there that Jeff Lebby really likes in Starkville. But yeah, this is such a fascinating matchup because Georgia's been the team that, 5 of the 6 SEC games that they played in, they haven't led at halftime. And Mississippi State, meanwhile, is like, hey, we're capable of jumping out and getting a lead, and they're able to, get that play late to overcome, that second half lead that they blew against Arizona State. So I do think that there are a lot of people kind of sleeping on Mississippi State, and Georgia, just for whatever reason, puts itself in these positions and then makes all the right plays in the second half and just seizes that opportunity. So I still think Georgia wins this game, but the fact that the spread is 7.5, not really surprising, especially when you consider the average scoring margin SEC play. 7 points for Georgia, 7.5 points for Georgia, and then Mississippi State is -7. So those teams are just within a touchdown against whoever they play in the SEC.
All right, he is Connor O'Gara at CJ O'Gara on social media. Get his podcast everywhere you get your podcast and read him at Saturday Down South. Connor, it is always a pleasure. Thank you very much for the time.
Gentlemen, miss you already.
Yeah, thank you, man.
We love you, man. We'll see you next time.
See you.
We'll see you soon. Connor with us.
I like it.
So the Alexander Shunara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And it's brought to you, before we get to four downs, brought to you by our friends at Bojangles. They bring you the tender moment of the day.
All right. Bojangles can always be bow time for you. Hey, listen, holiday parties coming up soon. I know it's crazy to think about that, but with Thanksgiving and Christmas, Bojangles can cater those holiday parties for you as well. The bow bites they have, the crispy chicken tenders, those great sides for your holiday parties. The hand-breaded chicken tender bites, bow bites right now with that peach honey pepper dipping sauce available at your local Bojangles. You can go by and get it now and maybe have it cater your tailgate party, your college football watch party, or your holiday parties coming up. That's our friends at Bojangles. Make it bow time.
Tender moment last night in Tuscaloosa. Team meal as they're getting ready in the dining hall for the LSU invasion. Forster's like, man, did I look at the schedule wrong? Alabama playing the Gators this weekend? No, it's Cajun food, man. They got a little Gator barbecue going on in the Alabama team meal last night. Does that look good to you, Forster?
No, not at all. Hard pass.
How much to gnaw on that gator paw? You think that thing's tough?
I'd have to taste it to know if I like it. I think I like my gator fried. That looks barbecue. That looks smoked.
I'll tell you, man, when they buffaloed the gator at Walk-Ons, I don't think it's on the menu anymore.
That was good.
The gator tacos.
Yeah, that buffalo gator was very, very good.
It wasn't fried?
It was fried, but then buffaloed.
It's but lightly fried. I mean, it's not like deep. Well, I'm not going to say it's not deep fried, but it's lightly breaded, I guess is what I should say.
This looks like pulled pork, though.
Yeah.
The way it was pulled out of there. Doesn't it to you, Forster?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm sure it was delicious.
Scott's not a
I mean, it does look smoked. I assume that's how the what used to be scales on the gator there ended up getting.
I mean, they
that,
almost look like chicken tenders on the.
Yeah, maybe they are fried.
I like a good gumbo with the dark roux, but jambalaya done right. Our friend Chris Stewart does it right. He used to do it multiple times a season. Been twisting his arm to do it this year. He hasn't done it yet, but a good sticky jambalaya. Hard to beat.
Really good. All right, Twin Peaks brings us our four downs today. Tell us about the Peaks LT, and we'll get to Tyler's four downs on this Thursday coming up in the next segment.
Yeah, our friends at Twin Peaks, if you consider yourself a bourbon connoisseur, at Twin Peaks, they're proud to offer exclusive and extensive collection of some incredibly rare bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas. Plus, check out their barrel selects. They are handpicked by their team, bottled just for you. Supply is limited. Check with your favorite location to see what they're pouring. Again, nobody does fantasy like our friends at Twin Peaks. Stop in, see them, the home of the 29-degree signature draft, served by the Twin Peaks girls running around in 3D, lunch or dinner, all the games, all the action. Stop into Twin Peaks.
Coming up in the next segment, we'll look at USA Today's projections on all the major openings, who lands where according to USA Today. But right now, first down.
First down.
What's the worst reality show you've ever seen? Or one that's just so bad that it's good?
Yeah, Joe Millionaire for me. I mean, The Swan was great too. There was a time, Jeeves, before, you probably remember this, where Fox was known as the Devil Network. And all that controversial programming was over there in The Swan. They would take a bunch of ugly women and do all this cosmetic surgery and make them look better. But Joe Millionaire was this redneck construction worker who they acted like he had this huge... he was a trust fund kid with a mansion, and he rode in on a horse with the long flowing hair. And all of these skanks, there was like 12 of them, they all jockeyed for him. And then they found out at the very end he's completely broke and lived in a trailer. It was amazing.
They fled like rats.
Oh, yeah. They just baited. He banged every one of them. I mean, it was just an incredible show. Joe Millionaire.
Were you asking the worst one, though? The worst one?
Yeah, but that was terrible, but it was terrible in a good way.
So bad it's good.
Yeah. Joe Millionaire.
I thought Naked Alive, is that what it was?
Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid. I thought that was the worst one. I think I saw one or two episodes, and it just grosses me out that the bugs are biting you and you're naked and sleeping on the ground.
And there's no prize money.
Oh,
There's no prize money?
You didn't know that?
I didn't watch it enough to know that.
What are you playing for?
Yeah. The honor of being able to do that.
Okay.
And you get invited to come back.
Oh, I get to come back for
not
no
only
more money.
is it disgusting,
Yes.
I remember watching one time, and it was in some freaking South American country, and it was a guy and a girl, and the girl was on her period, naked and afraid.
Oh.
How bad is that?
Sounds pretty bad. I would have to go with, I cannot remember the name of it, but I unfortunately watched the first episode. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie.
Simple Life.
Simple Life.
Ah, okay.
That was awful.
Have you seen The
Love
Secret
that.
of Skinwalker Ranch on the History Channel?
No, so Rick and Bubba used to talk about this a lot. What's the deal on that deal?
A lot
What
of
is Skinwalker
reported,
Ranch?
like UFO activity, like cattle mutilation, all the sort of weird stuff that you see in like alien abduction stories. And now some guy who owns a big like show company, I don't know what he really does. I think he does real estate. He owns the ranch now, and they film a reality show for the History Channel there, featuring the worst scientists you've ever seen. They are out there with all sorts of equipment and haven't found a thing.
Oh, that's super surprising.
Sounds like a waste of time.
Yeah, it really does.
Do you guys ever see on VH1 The Rock of Love?
Well, somebody said that in the chat room. Rock of Love with Brett Michaels.
It was just, I mean,
he made
like
some girl get like his name tattooed on him and then kicked him off the show.
Hey, it was incredible though, Tyler. Like the first, the 12 or 14 rolled up, and all they did was roll out liquor, and he got them as hammered as they possibly could to see, which direction this thing went. And by the end, it appears down to like 3 or 4, and he's a diabetic. He brings out his EpiPen, and he's like, I just need to make sure you're going to be by my side. There might be a situation where you have to save my life. Are you going to be able to put this EpiPen in me? So it had some deep, tender, emotional situations as well. But the Rock of Love was legit.
Second down.
Happy birthday to Sally Field. She turned 78 today. So give me your favorite Sally Field movie.
I think it was what really launched her, Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit was about as hot as she ever was.
Yeah, she was.
Won an Academy Award for Norma Ray. I liked a movie called Stay Hungry that was filmed here in Birmingham. And by the way, you get a naked Sally Field if you're interested in that kind of stuff back in the 70s with Jeff Bridges and one of Schwarzenegger's first roles ever.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I liked Sally Field a lot. She was a good actress.
Third down.
Predator Badlands releases today. Since this is a spin-off of a very popular action franchise, what's your favorite 80s action movie?
80s action. Is Lethal Weapon 80s action?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
All right. Give me Lethal Weapon for 200.
16 Candles.
Is that considered?
I'll count it.
Rambo? Is Rambo action?
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved Rambo back in the day.
Alrighty then.
I mean, look, the original Die Hard was great.
Never seen it, as
I
you
thought
know.
Lethal Weapon 2 was a little bit better than Lethal Weapon, although both were really, really good.
Yeah. I
Point
was
Break.
just kind of referencing the series.
Point Break almost got into that window right there at 1990 or maybe 91.
I think it was 91.
Yeah, I think I would go probably the original Die Hard.
Good pick.
Fourth down.
If you owned a restaurant, what would your signature dish be? And it has to be something you can already cook.
Oh, that we can personally cook?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I know everybody thinks I'm going to say steak. I'm not.
I was thinking you were gonna
but
say steak.
here's why I'm not going to. Because I firmly believe I've been misrepresented in my stance on my ability to grill steak. All I've always said, or maybe I didn't say it clearly enough initially, I can grill a steak better for me than anybody else can because I know exactly how I want it. And the thing about steak is everybody's tastes are a little bit different. So I think it would be hard as a steakhouse. I would go smoked tenderloin and with a smoked pork tenderloin. And with that, I mix a sauce, and it's very easy to mix. It's just hoisin sauce combined with a sweet Thai chili pepper sauce, and you dip the smoked pork tenderloin in that. Fantastic.
All right.
I think
Smoked
I'm going to
over
go.
applewood, by
Look,
the way.
mine's going to be poor late night food. And I'm going to do my ghetto mac, where you chop the hot dog up in the old school mac and cheese, and you put in some paprika, and you can crunch up some potato chips and throw in ketchup and just make it a disgusting, just ghetto mess. But ghetto mac would be my go-to, and people that are stoned and drunk at 2 a.m. would absolutely love it.
Here's what I'm on lately is I make rice, a bowl of rice, and then I if I've got Champy's chicken with me, if not just other fried chicken, and I pull the fried chicken, including the crust, and I chop it up, and a little soy sauce into a rice bowl with fried chicken. Oh, so good.
So it's just rice, soy sauce, and fried chicken?
Yeah.
Is it brown rice or white rice?
It's white rice.
White rice?
Yeah.
So
it sounds good. I'd like it with brown rice.
Yeah,
I think.
another variation of that. We've been doing burger bowls. So without the buns, you put in some Wickles. You can do rice, or there's some kind of upscale kind of a mac and cheese with the fresh ground beef in there, and then you put a little sauce on it. Tastes just like a burger without the bun. Very good.
I, for a moment, was going to say mac and cheese with barbecue in it. When you like a good pulled pork and mac and cheese with barbecue sauce, is fantastic.
There's a hotel that's got that. You know what I'm talking about?
I think that locally, I think they quit serving it. I was there not long ago and tried to get it.
Yeah. I probably am eating a rice bowl about every day right now.
Are you really?
Yeah. So it's I go through these phases where I eat, like, remember the yogurt bowls that I would eat up here one every day for like a year and a half?
Are you going to start taking your shoes off at the door of the studio? We're going to have to bow to you.
Once a day, man. A bowl of cereal and a bowl of rice every day.
Those yogurt bowls you would bring in looked like it's like how sediment looks, like the layers.
It was the layers, right? Yeah.
You'd have the granola layer, and then the vanilla
you know what the first thing you would do too?
strawberries.
It just mix it all up. I'm like,
I never mixed it up.
I thought you did.
No, I never mixed it up. Never mixed it up. It always reminded me of that bad episode on Friends where the pages got stuck together and Jennifer Lawrence made like this 7-layer thing that was dessert, and then meat, and then dessert because the pages stuck together. Yeah, it was weird.
A meat truffle.
Yeah, that's what it was. All right, that's 4 Downs. Tyler always does a wonderful job of that on Thursdays. Show brought to you by our friends at Gutter Cap. Man, it's that time of year. The leaves are falling fast right now.
Yeah, we mentioned Chris Stewart, his ability to make a great jambalaya. Also, his ability to make sure that you never do that dirty, dangerous job that is cleaning the leaves out of the gutters. Gutter Cap is a patent aluminum cover system. It fits over most existing gutters. It will keep all debris out. It will keep just water in it. Keep the gutters clean and free-flowing. The answer is Gutter Cap. You don't want to get out, get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation and legal services provided are billed at any other provider.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We'll tell you about some USA Today projections on the major job openings, who they think ends up, and whether we agree, disagree so early. And that's coming up a little bit later on this segment. I'll make another point before we get to that. A little update on college basketball brought to you this hour by our friends at the Pants Store. Hey, it's your time to jump into the Pants Store right now and enjoy some great savings for the holidays. They've got great deals for you at the Pants Store. PantsStore.com. Great locations in Huntsville and Auburn and Tuscaloosa. Also all over Birmingham. But the best part is, man, they will ship anywhere in the world for you, is what they'll do at the Pants Store. They've got the great polos and the quarter zips from great name brands like Gentile, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, and so much more. And the rompers and the boots and the dresses with free alterations and free gift wrapping, all at the Pants Store, PantsStore.com. Auburn back in action tonight at home against Merrimack. Am I saying that right? Merrimack?
I think that's the way to say it, Merrimack.
Yeah. Todd Pettiford coming off 4 of 13 shooting. When we saw him here at Boutwell, he didn't have his shot.
Oh, no.
Obviously, him getting right is really important. And did you notice something else? And maybe I'm wrong about this, but they only played 9 players the other night against Bethune-Cookman.
I did not notice that. No, that was one stat that didn't jump out at me.
Yeah, they 4 bench players, 5 starters, 9 players. And usually, I mean, it felt like it was a 10, 11-person rotation in recent teams. So it'll be interesting to see if there's more help, more depth in the rotation with Stephen Pearl as he goes for win number 2 tonight. Merrimack and Auburn. Does anybody know Merrimack's mascot off the top of your head, Forrester?
A bear.
You say a bear? You want to guess? I don't know the answer myself.
Oh. What was Forrester's guess?
Forrester's actually looking it up, so I'm wanting you to guess. Merrimack. The Merrymen would not be good.
The cavemen?
No, Merrimack.
Merrimack, I'm going to say Pilots.
I'm going to say Merrimack. I'm going to say they're the Patriots. They feel like a Northeastern school.
That seems like a good answer.
I've got Warriors.
How about that? The Warriors.
Yes.
Those Patriots were Warriors. I think I was closest.
Yeah, hopefully they're not Splash Brothers tonight as they're at Neville Arena, Alabama, back in action Saturday morning, 11 a.m. FS1. All right, back to football. Here comes LSU and Alabama. Do you believe in interim coach energy? I know at one point you were picking them every time, Brownie. We got 2 of them this week in the SEC.
Yeah, I think I don't think there is a hard and fast rule. You could say a team always plays better when they switch to the interim. I do think sometimes it energizes a team because of a couple things. Number one, they want to prove the doubters wrong. Like, we've been doubted. You guys, you fired our coach. We want to prove you wrong. So they come out with a different energy. I think number 2, there's just the pressure off of the constant narrative of Is coach getting fired? Is coach getting fired? Is coach getting fired? I think number 3, when a popular assistant is elevated to the head coach, the interim head coach, they will rally around that guy and often play hard for him. So I think those are some of the elements to interim coach energy. Now, I will say, Lance, and schools like to do these moves with the bye week so that teams have a chance to adjust to it. I think that hurts that a little bit. I think it's actually interim coach energy. I think it's a little bit better when you fire a guy and you play that very next Saturday.
Well, and I think if you play it at home, too, if that makes any sense, because I think it's important for fans, because a good majority of the time the fan is already done with that head coach. So if you're a true fan and you've been pushing, this isn't our guy, then you need to show up in full force. But now on the road, I just don't know what you're going to get as far as LSU fans traveling to Tuscaloosa. Like, I think you're probably cut in half of what you would have gotten if this team is 1 or 2 losses.
That's why the ticket is a soft ticket out there. Auburn on the road, LSU on the road, the interim coaches. For Alabama, the last time Alabama played on the road at South Carolina, you'll remember that Ty Simpson's accuracy was not what it had been. It was the first time since the loss at Florida State that he didn't hit at least 64% of his passes. But they won the football game, unlike last year at Oklahoma or in the bowl game against Michigan or at Florida State. They won the football game. Here's Ryan Grubb on just how important that fourth quarter of gutting out a win when it wasn't pretty meant for this team, in his opinion.
I just thought our guys, that was probably one of our biggest growth moments of the season, was the fourth quarter of that game. Certainly, that could have been reminiscent of the Florida State game and, the guys not being able to find a way to get it done and make the plays that had to be made late in a football game. And just give a ton of credit to the guys, just the resiliency and the mindset to be able to go make those plays. Because I think it's easier said than done. You can get in a state of mind when things aren't working that you just fall back into, like, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. And I thought they, were very coachable on the sideline. I thought their approach to every series was that it was going to happen on this series. So they didn't let, previous failures lead into that next series. And I just, that's the growth that I think this team's had with guys like Parker and Ty, moving into those roles and really establishing, what it was going to feel like when we went back out on the field. And Ty really did a good job leading the guys to the sideline.
And see, I noticed that when it was happening and thought, it wasn't the win like everybody thought it was going to be, but it was a win on the road when you didn't play your A game. I think that is something you're going to be able to call back as this season progresses. I thought what he exactly said there, what a big moment for the team.
Something from the Jeremy Bernard interview, this is something you wouldn't have necessarily seen play out in a game, but I like this mindset for Alabama. And it's just a small thing, and it's something you may not see the rest of the year. You may, but you may not. Is him talking about them seeing the students come down to rush the field and the impact that had on them on the sidelines. I like that. I mean, that's the edge of, like, they're not going to rush the field on you. They think they're going to rush the field on us. Like, I mean, you still want your team. That's an old school Nick Saban era Alabama edge right there, right? Is they see a team students about to rush the field, like, you ain't going to rush the field on us, man. We're going to take care of that.
It is amazing that people still nonstop, if they have the opportunity, will rush the field on Bama.
Oh, but listen, I've got some very good friends that are South Carolina grads and fans, and I mean they're lifelong South Carolina. And I was at lunch with them Sunday, and they were at the game. They were at the Bama South Carolina game, and even they were saying when we saw the students push down to rush the field, we're like, "What are you doing? This is Alabama and South Carolina." They're like, those students haven't seen near enough South Carolina football to know you don't start to rush the field against a team like Alabama.
Yeah, I do think this is challenging for Kane Womack because you do have a first-time play caller, and, Frank Wilson, these guys galvanizing around him, and obviously LSU's got a ton of talent. But the good news for Alabama, you still haven't played a full 4 quarters. We have not seen Alabama's best game yet. And you look at as good as Germ has been, we've got him every Monday. He's got one 100-yard game back to Jam Miller. The only guy that has gone 100 yards against a Power 4 on the ground is Jam Miller against Vanderbilt. Germ hasn't gone over 100 yards since Florida State.
He is doing so much for this offense.
But I'm just saying, it all comes together. This could be a really, really good team.
Jam Miller, 10 carries, 26 in the last game, 3 receptions for 23. Bernard had 5 for 54, but a big one there at the end. 14 turnovers Womack's defense has this year, 2 turnovers in 5 of their 7 wins. LSU's gotten better at the turnover, but as they've gotten better at not turning the ball over, their offense has even gotten worse. So we'll see if Nussmeier can thread the needle of being aggressive and not turning it over as they come to Tuscaloosa this weekend. Meanwhile, Auburn on the road to take on Vanderbilt. DJ Durkin, cut number 4, Tyler. DJ Durkin here addressing the quarterback situation. On the SEC teleconference yesterday, they've made a decision as a coaching staff, and it's Ashton Daniels who's going to get the start again.
It's been good for me to obviously I have not had involvement with it to this point, and then this week I've been really trying to spend time with those guys on that side of the ball and just hear from them, both players and coaches, and get their viewpoint on things. We've made a decision as a staff. Ashton Daniels will be our starting quarterback. I think gives us the best opportunity to go win the game. Our team, our coaches are all 100% behind him. He's done a really good job preparing this week, and so he'll be the guy we go with, and I think we have a good plan for him.
Oof.
I can't believe the offense has got into this situation.
Wow, you've seen it, Lance. I mean,
but you've got really good players. You've obviously got a slew of good receivers.
You don't have anybody that can get it to
You got Jeremiah Cobb. I mean, but how do you not have a quarterback by now in year 3?
Well, that's why you have an interim coach, because you don't have a quarterback.
And I think
in year 3.
obviously DJ Durkin wants to win these games and stay competitive because he wants this job. And if Deuce Knight gave them any opportunity, I think they would roll him out there. I mean, how far off is Deuce Knight?
Yeah, I mean, he's nowhere close. If they haven't played him yet, he can't be that close to him, wouldn't you say?
But here's the deal with Ashton Daniels. If he is the guy that is going to play it closest to the vest, protect the ball, and set up your defense, what does Vandy's offense look like the last 8 quarters?
Well, they were pistol hot in the 4th quarter against Texas.
Yeah. That was a great
Yeah,
quarter
but I
football.
mean, listen, you also have to look at
mop-up time.
Well, I wouldn't call it mop-up time, but I do think Texas was probably saying, keep everything in front of us. Don't let them hit the home run ball and get back in this game. And by the way, that defensive philosophy, what did it do? It got Vanderbilt right back in the game. Came down to an onside kick. But to your point, prior to that against Texas, they were awful.
Yeah, and then before that was who? Missouri,
and
they were horrible.
Yeah, that's right. That was a very low-scoring game.
And they're coming off a stretch, Vanderbilt is, of playing Alabama, LSU, Missouri, Texas. Here comes Auburn. I like Auburn to win the game outright.
Do you like Auburn to win it outright again this week?
Y'all don't?
I mean, it's only 6.5. I don't know.
I don't like Auburn to win it out.
If Ashton Daniels wasn't starting at quarterback, I would feel better.
Now, you say that like it's – y'all don't?
I mean,
no, I don't expect Auburn to win this game outright. Have you watched them all year?
I like them plus points.
What about,
I guess.
What about this says Auburn wins this game outright on the road at Vanderbilt?
It's more about Vandy and the Auburn defense than it is anything else. Nothing to do with Ashton Daniels and the Auburn offense.
You know how different it would be, though, if soon-to-be Governor Tommy Tuberville would have gotten through to Hugh Freeze and he would have gotten Diego Pavia?
Or Cam Ward or any of those guys.
Well, Cam Ward, they'd be undefeated. But I'm saying Diego, I think they're 1 loss.
Have we seen it? Is this it for Jackson Arnold? Have we seen the last time in an Auburn uniform, or do you think you'll see him again?
I mean, here's a new coaching staff, and
the first thing they do is say Ashton Daniels.
Yeah.
No, I think there's a good chance you see Jackson Arnold on Saturday.
Okay, so Lance's like, no, we may see him this weekend.
Inverness Country Club gets us to our USA Today projection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 jobs. Only about 6 I care about, but 9 of them. And whether or not, well, I tell you what, as we throw out who they think, you tell me who you think it'll be, okay? And the new coaches. Inverness Country Club.
They have memberships that fit everyone from the social to the golf, childcare. Also huge when it comes to the Inverness Country Club. If you and your wife want a day of golf or tennis, guess what? Drop the kid. Go have yourself a day on the court or course. Dinner with friends, knowing your kid is safe on site, massive plus. Best days happen in Inverness. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at Inverness. They've even got a vineyard club. Maybe you relocated to retired. Inverness, great place to network. Take a tour of the club today. Call Aaron 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608. Make sure you tell the guys from the next round sent you. For more information, ICCalabama.com.
Paul Meyerberg writes the story at USA Today overnight, and for this morning's paper, if you're staying at some hotel that has the USA Today waiting outside. So he projects on where he thinks everyone's going to end up. And as I always like to say in this, Brown and I actually said this to each other earlier today. What is true on November 6th about a coaching search can be very different on November 16th or the 26th. It just changes that quickly. So these are not These are leans, angles are just fun projections from Paul Meyerberg. LSU, he says Joe Brady is who he thinks it'll end up being.
I had a guy at dinner that sat next to me at a bar the other night. He's like, man, they need to get Joe Brady. And I think anybody could have called plays in 2019. I really do. I think Joe Brady, I think the job's too big. Maybe I'm completely wrong here. John Summerall seems like such a better fit.
Yeah, I'll go John Summerall on this one.
At LSU.
At LSU.
Yeah, I am too. I'm going to go
I'll
Summerall.
go John Summerall.
Joe Brady at LSU. I'm going to ride Josh Pate. I'm going to say Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley at LSU? That would be
Josh Pate
fascinating.
did not say that. All Josh Pate was like,
Lincoln Riley.
keep an eye on Lincoln Riley. Not for LSU, just something happening with Lincoln Riley. But I like Lincoln Riley at LSU.
Okay.
Joe Brady. By the way, Joe Brady, William and Mary undergraduate, where he played football.
Why did you bring that up?
Master's degree from?
LSU?
Penn State.
Oh, Penn State.
Where
Bring him up. Mama called.
Where the initial rumor was that the Buffalo Bills owner, where Joe is currently employed, paid the biggest part of the buyout for James Franklin
to lose his own offensive
to get
coordinator.
Joe Brady in there to be the coach of his school.
I tell you what's going to be a disaster. If Lincoln Riley does leave, James Franklin to USC is in play.
Oh,
100%. Yeah. You've danced that dance before. Yeah.
Okay, backfill some of these jobs. I like that too. Yeah. Florida.
I am going to go Lincoln Riley.
They say Lane Kiffin. You're going to go Lincoln Riley.
I've been Lane Kiffin the whole time. I do think that LSU kind of threw it out of whack because I think he would have rather had the LSU job, but because of Governor Landry, I think maybe he gravitates back to Florida. I am going to go Lane Kiffin to Florida.
I'll go Lane Kiffin to Florida as well. Backfield Ole Miss for me.
That could be John Summerall.
If he's not at LSU, I mean, obviously I've got him at LSU, Summerall.
Boy, if you're Auburn, man, you better be working on John Summerall before Ole Miss opens up, right?
Well, I mean, that's the complication. That's why I may not mention Lane's name here. I don't think Lane's going to be available to early January.
I will tell you, the LSU AD says we have no problem hiring a playoff coach, even if it means missing recruiting or the start of the portal window.
That is exactly the approach you should take.
Yeah.
You're making a decision that you hope is a 10 or 12-year decision. Why would you make a decision based on half a recruiting class or one transfer
Makes
cycle?
no sense.
I mean, that's stupid. Yeah. No, I agree. If they honestly operate that way, they're doing it smarter than most schools do it.
Can I go one sneaky play here?
Okay.
For the Florida
This is
job?
for Florida?
Yeah.
I think Bob Chesney might be involved.
James Madison, for those that don't know.
in Ole Miss.
In Ole Miss.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. That'd be an interesting hire. Yeah.
Josh Heupel, Tennessee, to Florida.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Does what?
Remember he was at UCF. Doug, one of our listeners in Scottsboro, can you remind some of my stupid Vol fans where we were before Heupel got there? These people need to be careful because he decides to take another one of these jobs because of ridiculous crap being said by some about this season. Would be typical Tennessee.
Does it worry you a little bit? The point Clapp made about complimentary football, does that worry you a little bit about Heupel now? I know you've always been really big on Heupel.
And I mean, he has been exposed at times this year. Again, he doesn't have a great quarterback.
I mean, for those
I think he's done really
for
good.
those that didn't see the Clatt interview,
he was put into a bad situation.
He was. Yeah, well, I say that, but
as you set this
he's got a better quarterback than he had. He was put in a bad situation, but they upgraded a quarterback. Aguilar's better than Jaime Lieva.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. South Florida's winning out. Like, we'll see them tonight. As soon as I say this, it'll lose to UTSA. I think they're going to win out. I think they're getting a rematch with Memphis. I think they're going to beat Memphis. I think Golish is going to be in the playoffs. And if Kiffin doesn't take Florida, I think Florida will take Golish.
Yeah. I mean, Golish to Tennessee would be a great follow-up if Heupel did leave to go somewhere. Because he was there in 2022 and plays the same type of offense.
Yeah. For those that didn't see the Clatt interview, and you can download it wherever you get your audio or go watch it on YouTube, it's always, everything we ever do is always archived in those places. And we'd strongly encourage you to do that. But basically, to summarize what he said about Heupel, he's like, look, this guy's a good offensive coach, but as a head coach, he is concerned about one thing, screaming down the field as fast as he can with absolutely no regard to his defense. And Clatt's only point is, I don't think you can win consistently long-term by doing that. in the SEC especially. And if you were to say, is the evidence there to support Klatt based on Heupel's accomplishments, you'd have to say, yeah. Can he keep this up and win at a high level consistently?
Well, that sort of is the way that Lincoln Riley coaches.
100% it is, which is why I would not want Lincoln Riley.
Sort of the way Mike Leach coached, which is where some of this was learned.
Yeah.
Yep.
The old air raid did not focus on its defense a whole lot. You didn't have a run game to grind clock.
Sort of the way Jeff Levy coaches.
You know, it's funny. This is what's funny about coaching searches. I was going to bring this up to Connor. Mississippi State lost to Texas in overtime, lost to Tennessee in overtime, and I firmly believe if they don't make a poor decision, it was a poor coaching decision by Levy, of throwing a pass against Florida, they win that game. They're 8-1.
That's right.
3 plays. If they make a play to stop overtime, whatever, 3 plays, they're 8-1. If they had made those 3 plays, Jeff Levy is on the top of everyone.
That's why I'm saying if they beat Georgia this week, I think he's going to be right back there.
But he would be on the top.
And that's what's so stupid. Like, if you're one of these ADs, why not make an offer to Levy because he's kind of in the weeds right now.
But the other part of that, though, Lance, is he's also the head coach that allowed Texas to storm back from down 17 in the fourth quarter and force overtime. He's the head coach that allowed Tennessee, I think they were down 10 in the fourth quarter to force overtime. He's the head coach that chose to throw the ball against Florida that cost them the field goal.
These rosters aren't even close.
No, they're not. He's done it. Don't hear me incorrectly. He's done a tremendous job, but that's why hiring a coach is so bad. Is that who Levy is, or is he a guy that's like, I learned from those mistakes. Next time I'll be 8-1.
More of this Paul Meyerberg USA Today list after I remind you our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama on top of your health. They want you to stay on top of everything from prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. They handle vasectomies and men and women's issues as well at Urology Centers of Alabama. 16 locations, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. Listen, over 70 years of the finest urological care in all of Alabama with the great urologists you get there at UCA. 70 years of the best urological care you're going to get. 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. Florida, they say Lane Kiffin. Penn State, they say Manny Diaz.
It's so funny. I really met one of the big Penn State boosters. He was in town, his first time ever in Tuscaloosa, and I met him through a client/friend, and he was talking about the Penn State situation, and he was adamant that Franklin needed to go, and it was the week that Franklin went, and for whatever reason, we were watching the beginning of Duke, Georgia Tech, and he's like, that's the guy we need to get, Manny Diaz. And I was like, you have to be kidding. Like, I had just met the guy, and I told him that. I was like, you have got to be kidding me, Manny Diaz?
Yeah. Stanford, Tavita Pritchard.
35-22, by the way, Manny Diaz.
Yeah, I mean, Tavita Pritchard at Stanford right now, the Washington Commanders quarterback coach.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Oklahoma State, there's no way in hell from Paul Meyerberg of USA Today. Oklahoma State, he puts Alex Golich.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm not going
to
say
he wouldn't leave South Florida for Oklahoma State.
I'm not going to say he's got a better job at South Florida,
but I don't think he would leave.
I'm going to say he can get a better job from South Florida than Oklahoma State.
Well, I'm going to say that I'm not sure it's a worse job than Oklahoma State.
I mean, it's got some things Oklahoma State doesn't. I would say that. I mean, you're in the Big 12. That is a big difference, obviously. But I just think he can be patient and get a better job than that.
Big 12, likely a one bid league.
Yeah.
Group of 6, likely a one big league.
The name that gets mentioned a lot for them is Zach Robinson, who is the former quarterback of theirs, offensive coordinator at the Falcons right now. And, of course, the Falcons tear it up on offense right now.
Yeah, the good news is he coached under McVay.
Okay, so let me not besmirch his good name.
UCLA, Tony White, who's at Florida State right now. Virginia Tech is where they project James Franklin.
Yeah, you hear a lot of smoke on that at Virginia Tech.
I mean, God bless him. Again, that same day that I was talking to the Penn State fan, because game day when James Franklin was on, ironically went into that Duke Georgia Tech game, and Franklin said, our next stop, we're winning a national championship. It ain't at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, he recruits Virginia Beach and the Maryland, D.C., Virginia area really well, which was a hotbed for him there at Penn State. Arkansas. Paul Meyerberg, USA Today, says Daniel Mullen from the desert to Arkansas.
Gets another shot in the SEC.
Boy, that would be a weird fit. I don't know why, because it was a weird fit at Mississippi State, but it worked. You could do a lot worse.
Yeah, it's weird you say that. I almost felt like Mullen was more of a weird fit at Florida than he was at State. Don't ask me why.
Because you'd seen him at Mississippi State.
Yeah, I guess.
But Florida's one of those. I guess I'm talking about culturally. Yeah.
But Florida, remember, he was the OC there.
I know.
Tie,
It would seem like it would make more sense at Florida, but he felt like to me, Mullen felt like a fit at Mississippi State. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but
I don't know if Mississippi State fans felt that way, but
they
look back now in a fun way. I consume too much content. I know that.
What do you mean?
Barstool yesterday. PFT. He gets a kick. He even says, he tells Brandon Walker, I get a kick out of me and my buddies. We track booster planes, school planes. We track them. He goes.
He gets a kick out of it.
Yeah, because they love the what ifs. And he when he jumped in, interrupted Brandon Walker and T-Bob's show yesterday. He just walked in either before or after his show and said, I'm tracking the Arkansas plane. Do you know where it is? And, of course, nobody knew where it was. Yesterday it was on the ground at a small airport outside of Chicago, Illinois.
Pat Fitzgerald. Hey, Pat Fitzgerald needs to get looks. And I thought the whole hazing thing was weird, but he just settled that lawsuit, and it went in his favor, which shows you that.
And he wants to get back into coaching.
Yeah. I mean, look, he was, in 17 years, he had a better than 500 record at Northwestern.
Yeah.
What could he do at Arkansas?
Yeah. That could just as easily have been the vice president of finance meeting with a large group of donors and to build a new science building. But I guess. Does Fitzgerald still live in Chicago? Do we even know if he still lives there?
I think he does.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying.
He's got plenty of money, so if he wants to get back into coaching.
He would be interesting. I wondered about him because he got some talk about the NFL. Weren't the Bears, wasn't it the Bears they were talking about going to right there in city? I always wondered with him, and maybe I am bad about doing this just on guys that coach at their alma mater. Well, I always wondered about him, was it just kind of like the Gundy thing I always said? It fit right at his alma mater, wouldn't work anywhere else.
Yeah. By the way, Lincoln Riley, with Josh Pate's comment, where he doesn't say anything except keep an eye on Lincoln Riley, could be to the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's got enough quarterbacks up there.
Yeah, could be. And then there's Auburn, where USA Today projects John Summerall, friend of the show, John Summerall.
I'd love that for Auburn. I'd love that for John. I'd like to have him back in state and, on our show a lot more. But.
I had a friend of the show reached out, and they said that – it's kind of a weird connection, but him and Summerall's wife dated siblings. So I guess what he meant by there is like he dated a girl that was dating.
Sounds like a web.
So Summerall's current wife was dating the brother. He was dating the sister.
Okay, I got you.
So he said they spent a ton of time together, and he was like, she is the biggest Auburn fan in the world. Absolutely loves the program, still follows them. So, I mean, look, wives have a lot of pull. So if he was to get that offer, I think he would take it unless there were other offers out there. But I think it would be great for Auburn.
Yeah. And as Brandon Marcello, our friend, writes at CBSSports.com, he is pleading with Auburn to get back to their roots, that they've gotten away from their roots and the Auburn creed, and they believe John Summerall would fit perfectly into Auburn and the Auburn fabric and almost Pat Dye-esque.
Yeah, and he would tell those boosters to go to hell.
Yeah,
he would.
We'll see if that's where he ends up. Michelson's Laser Vision. Michelson Laser Vision brings us Tyler and Lance's viewing menu today. Tell us about Michelson.
205-969-8100. That is the number you need to call. Make sure you ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. 205-969-8100 for more information. MichelsonLaserVision.com.
All right, first off in theaters, we've got Predator Badlands. In the future, on a remote planet, a young predator, outcast from his clan, finds an unlikely ally in Thea, a damaged Wayland-Yutani synth, and embarks on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary.
Was that all in English, what you just did right there?
Some of it.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to team up with an android and kill a really big monster.
Yeah,
That's what I've seen in the trailer, and I don't know anything else.
Tyler dumbed it down for me, didn't he? Okay, Brown, I'll dumb it down for you.
Yep. See, predators on their home planets, they take pride in the hunt and the kill.
Thank you.
So he's trying to kill something that's too big for him.
Okay. All right. As we've all done,
yes.
I guess. I don't know what that means. Yes.
Typical weekend, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Next up, we've got Die My Love. Grace, a young writer and mother, is slowly slipping into madness. Locked away in an old house in Montana, her increasingly agitated and erratic behavior leaves her companion, Jackson, worried and helpless. And this stars Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence as the couple, and also has Nick Nolte, Sissy Spacek, and Lakeith Stanfield. So solid cast in that one.
Damn, Nick Nolte, man. He looked rough 30 years ago.
Yeah, no doubt. I can't believe he's doing something new.
And then finally, we've got a new miniseries on Netflix called Death by Lightning, presenting the story of James Garfield, who rose from obscurity to become America's 20th president, and as well as Charles Guiteau, the man who assassinated him. And Michael Shannon is playing James Garfield.
Oh, I've seen trailers for this. Yeah.
Does it look good?
Let me quickly rewind. I was on TikTok this morning, and I came across Michael Shannon playing something I didn't know he was playing, so I didn't watch much of it. So I'll go back and look and report back to you tomorrow.
I did hear him doing an interview with Rich Eisen a couple weeks ago talking about this. Very good interview, and I like Michael Shannon a lot.
So, there have been how many presidential assassinations? 4? You had Lincoln, Kennedy, Garfield, and wasn't there one more?
Lincoln, Kennedy, Garfield.
Attempts or?
No, actual assassinations.
Yeah, because Reagan survived.
It might just be 3.
It may just be 3. And you absolutely, Ford's Theater, where Lincoln was assassinated, is a museum. Mm-hmm. We've all been to the Kennedy assassination site right there at Dealey Plaza in Dallas. I think the Garfield one.
That's not a museum.
No, it is a museum. It's the Smithsonian. I think one of the Smithsonian's is, if I'm not mistaken, is built on the site where Garfield was actually assassinated.
Oh, I meant Kennedy. That's not a museum.
Oh, no, that's not a museum
traffic.
at all. No, it's just traffic. But there is a museum there.
Okay.
But the Garfield one, I think one of the Smithsonian's is built on that site, and they actually try to downplay it. Like, if you ask them, hey, where exactly was he killed? They're like, don't ask that question, please. It's just kind of weird that the other two are not celebrated, but they're like historical landmarks, and the Garfield was like, yeah, that didn't happen. Y'all just move on. Don't try to see where the president was killed. I just found that somewhat interesting.
That is interesting. And that's all I got.
That's what Tyler's watching. Michelson Laser Vision brings that to you. We'll do Brown's Taste of the Town on the other side as we roll on today. Don't forget, tomorrow we're at the Rabbit Hole again in Tuscaloosa, getting ready for the big LSU Alabama weekend. Rain or shine, we're there at the Rabbit Hole. We'll either be in our normal stage or in the back patio in the covered area for our live show. Come out and enjoy some great Bud Light with us. It's easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Tomorrow, 11 to 2 at the Rabbit Hole in Tuscaloosa.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation and legal services provided are better than any other provider.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Hey, before Brownie tells us about Bojangles here, a look back at the TV ratings where ABC did not sweep the top. They did have the most watched game, though, again, at just a little over 7 million fans, almost 8 million. Georgia and Florida, #1. But Penn State, Ohio State, the brand still right there at 7.19 million on Fox. And then big drop-off, some saying because of the YouTube dispute. Oklahoma, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Texas, under $5 million on those ABC games, 3rd and 4th this week.
It's funny just being out and about around here. I hear people. I was in a restaurant yesterday, and I heard a neighboring table discussing, so what are you going to do this weekend? Well, I don't know. I tried DirecTV Stream last weekend. My trial runs out. I mean, like, everybody that is a YouTube TV customer is trying to figure out a workaround around this so they can watch their games.
Good news for me is I found a morning show that I like now. Wake Up Barstool's good.
You like that one?
Yeah.
T-Bob and those guys?
Yeah. Fantastic.
I had never seen it.
Yeah, I've never watched it.
But
so
I've been forced.
Yeah, so you got forced
I'm
in?
glad. Yeah, I will not go back to any of the morning ESPN.
Well, I tell you what, I would recommend both of you, because we're friends, text T-Bob, because they've caught a lot of hate for that show. So I'm being genuine here. I think you.
How have they caught hate for that?
No,
because everybody hates everything. I mean, you can do anything and people are going to hate.
The ratings are terrible now. I think they probably got a spike based on this. But, T-Bob drives the show, and they do a good job with it.
And
they talk a ton of gambling.
And they get, and this is helpful to them. They get, I know they get promos during the Fox College games, and maybe even during the NFL Sunday games. So
they do.
That's huge for them to get that type of promotion on that platform. I'm being genuine about that because they have caught a lot of hate. I'm sure T-Bob would like for you guys to say, hey, I watched it and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I don't know what the solution is moving forward, because I think I've got a month trial. One was a week. I did Sling or Fubo for a week and one for a month.
Well, I know my Fubo runs out Friday, so I'm going to have to recalibrate.
Can almost do 3 hours talking about the TV discussion. I mean, I see it it's everywhere right now. McAfee was talking about it yesterday. Bojangles bringing you part of the show here.
You can make a bow time at Bojangles. They can cater your holiday parties. They can cater your tailgates, your college football watch parties. Bojangles is a great idea for all of that. Everything, those hand-breaded tenders to the great sides. The biscuits, they are wonderful at Bojangles. And don't forget the Bo Bites, hand-breaded chicken tender bites available right now. And we've tried all their dipping sauces. I'm going to tell you, I'm most inclined to that peach honey pepper sauce they show. Bojangles, Bo Bites, and the great hand-breaded chicken tenders and all their great items for your holiday parties or your college football watch parties or tailgates. Make it Bo time.
Texas A&M's got some slack in their rope. They don't have to. It's not do or die for them this week at Missouri. It is for Missouri if you believe Eli and them are still in the conversation for the playoffs. Here is Mike Elko on his team playing a desperate Missouri team.
Teams like Missouri that you're playing, they are desperate for wins. Well, mathematically, you guys aren't. It seems like your team has been playing, I don't know if desperate's the word, but with a sense of urgency. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I think we are desperate. I tell them all the time, we have earned everything that we've got, right? We've got a record, we've got a ranking, we've got opportunities that we have worked really, really hard to earn. And every single Saturday, someone's coming in and trying to take all of that from us. And that's the urgency that we have. In terms of Missouri, obviously they're a team that's still young. This is the challenge that you have in college football today is, they're still very much alive for the playoff. This is a playoff game for them. They obviously know they're going to have to win out in order probably to get in. And so, this is a huge opportunity for them at home on a big stage to make a statement that they're going to go chase a spot in the playoff. And so there's a lot more of that nowadays than there's been in the past when only 2 or 4 teams were making the playoffs. And so, in a lot of ways, this is a playoff game on Saturday in Columbia.
Playoff impact game, no doubt about that. 6 of them this weekend. BYU, Texas Tech, by far the biggest impact playoff game this weekend. I'm not asking you to give away anything Lance's lock, but feels like Texas Tech a better football team than BYU, yes?
I think so, but BYU, I thought the same with Utah. I thought Utah was better. BYU just finds ways to win these games. Again, they've won 19 of their last 21. Bear Bachmeier is not playing like a true freshman quarterback, but this Texas Tech defense is legitimate. We talk about Bear Morton and how often he gets banged up. Will Hammond is out for the year, so if Bear Morton was to go down, all of a sudden offense becomes a problem for the Red Raiders.
Oregon, Iowa is a bigger impact than Texas A&M, Missouri in the playoffs, but Oregon, Iowa is a playoff impact game.
A loss would eliminate Iowa. I mean, they have got a very slim hope anyway, but that would be loss number 3 for them, so they would be done. A loss for Oregon, and they are in some deep trouble.
Deep trouble because you've still got USC and Washington, and outside
they're not eliminated.
Of that, you don't have any quality wins if you're Oregon.
Yeah, they are not eliminated, but they are in deep, deep, deep trouble. I mean, they are living on very, very thin ice. Look at where they already were in the standings.
Yeah, real quick, back to Missouri, though, and you brought up that you think Auburn beats Vanderbilt and Nashville. I think Missouri's got a really good shot, even with Zoller's at quarterback, because you got another week to really implement everything and let him, rep with all the ones. Missouri's defense, something that you brought up, I mean, they're 14th in scoring defense right now. This defense is really, really good. Defense at home in a must-win situation against an A&M team, and if there's an Achilles heel, it's 2 things. Too many penalties, one of the worst penalized teams in all of football, 8 penalties per game. And Marcel Reed, can he take over a game with his arm if they get behind? We still don't know that. I guess you kind of did against Notre Dame, but, I don't necessarily still, for whatever reason, trust him in that situation.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting to is other than the 2 I just mentioned, Texas A&M and Missouri, big impact game. Tulane, Memphis, Friday night with John Summerall in action there. That's a loser elimination game in the American race. That's an impact game. LSU and Alabama, impact game for Alabama. I mean, can you imagine if Alabama lost this one? What's left on their schedule? Oklahoma and a trip to Auburn.
Yeah, but the good news is Alabama's only got 1 loss in the SEC.
It doesn't eliminate them.
It doesn't, but, I mean, you're right back where you were going to Oklahoma last year, and with Auburn coming to your place, it would just be swapped. With Oklahoma coming to Bryant-Denny and you play Auburn and Jordan-Hare. So, let me tell you, I'm sorry, Lance, but let me tell you, Alabama fans, the one thing they absolutely do not want right now is going to Jordan-Hare in a must-win.
Right.
I mean, there's too much crazy stuff.
I would agree. I think your most talented roster that you face is going to be LSU. Most talented unit is either going to be Oklahoma or Auburn's defense, and you combine that with the fact that you're playing in Jordan-Hare where Alabama's had a lot of trouble over the years. All these games are somewhat tricky, but they're all games Alabama should win, and I would be absolutely floored if Alabama was to lose 2 down the stretch.
Mine was Iron Bowl related. We got plenty of time to talk Iron Bowl. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, Indiana Penn State is an interesting game this weekend. If Penn State and Jim Knowles can somehow play a little deeper. They played Ohio State close for a half. Maybe they can play a little deeper against Indiana. That's just some of the big matchups that are happening this weekend. Before LT tells you about Dr. B, a correction yesterday on the show. Now, I'm just repeating other people's information. Wisconsin, I told you, was the leader in alcohol sales inside the stadium.
Somebody clap back?
The guy who sent that out came back later on and says, I apologize. I need to make a correction. He sends a tweet out like it was like he had made a career. I mean, this kind of stuff is just all joking to me, but he tweeted like he made a career-defining mistake. Breaking news, Matt Brown writes, I deeply regret to inform all of you that my original story had the wrong data for Wisconsin. Here is the corrected alcohol sales chart after talking with the school. Your actual leader, Nebraska.
It's a little surprising.
I'm a bit surprised at
that.
Yeah,
they seem like more responsible fans.
Yeah. Now, I told you guys the little time I spent in Nebraska when I was paying off the bracket bet in Monowai, those guys like to drink the beer with the tomato juice in it.
Yeah, the red eye.
The red eye. So that was an introduction to me on that.
Maybe Larry the Cable Guy skewed this a little bit himself.
Yeah. Wisconsin's actually way down the list. It's Nebraska, Tennessee, LSU, Minnesota, Michigan, Indiana, West Virginia, Wisconsin.
All right, so some of that, Jim, is function of size of stadium. Minnesota is the one that stands out there. That's not a very big stadium, right?
Yeah.
For them to be on that list.
Yeah, units sold is what they're going by. So that's a little update there on that correction. Dr. B will always get your hair growing.
Absolutely. If you're starting to thin out, doesn't matter what that age is, you want to be preemptive, you want to maintain, you want to grow it back. Dr. Beckenstein, best in the business. 25 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. Look, men and women ordering products online don't even know if they work. Stop wasting money. Critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Go see Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff. Find out what will work for you. T3's got that test. Easy, painless, affordable. Takes seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. Call Dr. B and that great staff today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316 or t3hair.net for more information.
The College Football Spotlight.
It is the Shannara Spotlight every single day, presented by our guy, Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Alexander Shannara is the place you go. Shannara.com, Shannara.com. He has recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. You heard me right, $2 billion with a B. And he has done that simply by just maintaining some core values that he's had his entire life. And he has transferred them into his practice, and you see why it's successful. Integrity, mastery, passion, and success. You find yourself in need of an attorney, Alexander Shannara, trial attorney, Shannara.com, Shannara.com. You guys like desserts, don't you?
Sure.
We're going to go to Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock, Texas, site of this weekend's early game, BYU Texas Tech.
A lot of tortillas there, right?
A lot of tortillas, but we're talking
Can you do a dessert with a tortilla?
You probably could. I'm sure you could
Sopapilla.
find a way.
Yeah. A lot of cinnamon.
Yeah. We're going to Lubbock, Texas. Scott is showing you the Honeycomb Pie Shop #2. I love...
This is like a front in Breaking Bad.
It does. You're right. I love like a good backstory or a good name of a restaurant or location. You're like, I'd like to know the backstory. Why are they #2?
How did you find this place, Brown?
I'm good at this. Honeycomb Pie Shop #2. There is no explanation why there is #2, and there's no #1. But you get great pies there. You get great pies. Let me tell you about some of their pies, guys, that we're going to highlight here today.
Something else is going on at this
Chocolate cream pie. Do you like chocolate cream pie?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Johnny Ray's used to have a good one.
They did. I was talking about Johnny Ray's yesterday. We were eating lunch close to the old location.
Are they completely out of business?
I think they are. Chocolate cream pie, if you like that. Buttermilk pie. Scott, tell me if I've gotten out of order here. I may have gotten out of order here.
You got out of order.
Yeah, so that's chocolate cream, right? Then chocolate.
This is going to be the chocolate dream.
Chocolate dream. You're right. Chocolate dream pie. If you love a good chocolate pie. What are we next? Buttermilk.
The buttermilk chess.
Buttermilk chess pie. I like these. Do you guys like buttermilk chess pie?
I'd give it a shot. I've never had it, but sure.
I've had it before. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Brownie bottom pie. where the bottom crust is actually a brownie. So you're eating like a pie on top of a brownie. If that
that's too rich, but like 2 or 3 bites would be great.
Yeah. And then our final one is millionaire pie. That is their famous one, millionaire pie. And you're like, what's that?
Does that have pineapple in it?
It does, Jim.
Yeah.
You've had this before?
Yeah, I have.
It is condensed milk, Cool Whip, cream cheese, crushed pineapple, pecans. Sometimes cherries are added if they are in season, and they call that millionaire pie.
Yeah, we used to have that in the trailer park.
We call that irony. That's what we call that.
Yeah, my mom would make that.
Okay.
Yep.
Damn, pineapple's an expensive fruit.
I know.
How'd you guys pull that off?
Yeah, it was out of a can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I bet theirs is homemade every single day right there at the Honeycomb Bake Shop number 2, Honeycomb Bakery Shop number 2 in Lubbock, Texas. If ever in Lubbock, go by and enjoy some of the great pies.
Yeah. I think I'm a cake guy more than pie.
What's your favorite cake? They may have cakes there too. I just highlighted the pies.
We say it all the time. I like that strawberry cake at a local place here.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's quite good.
Well, it's good.
Yeah, I lean pie. I like cake. But
Zach says
pie's better.
Zach says old country folk love millionaire pie. So
Yeah,
I didn't know that was
that's
an
what
old
it
country
was,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Millionaire pie.
Yep.
I like some of their other ones better than what that sounds like. Buttermilk chess is hard to beat. I like a good
Did y'all
buttermilk chess.
consider what is it, Yoo-Hoo or Chocolate Soldier milk in the trailer park?
Didn't drink either one of them. Nope.
Did you drink chocolate milk though?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I didn't love chocolate milk.
I had chocolate milk as a kid, and I had one not too long ago, and it just the taste of it just rekindled those
so
feelings.
good.
I loved chocolate milk.
I enjoy it as an adult. Really good. I've said this 1,000 times on the show, but we always occasionally come back to stuff. After a workout or run when it's really hot, chocolate milk afterwards. Not necessarily an energy drink, just chocolate milk. But in elementary school, we couldn't have tea or Coke or anything when I was growing up. It was, your choice was water, white milk, or chocolate milk. That was your choice at lunch.
Yeah, we were the same. There was some orange drink too. I don't think it was actual orange juice.
We didn't get chocolate milk only on Fridays.
Oh, it was a big day.
We could have chocolate milk, white milk, or water. You could not have any sodas, no orange drink or anything.
Yeah.
Now you can smoke a vape in front of your teacher.
That's what it is, right there. All right, so that's what Brown is drinking, eating, or tasting as he rolls through college football. Brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us again about Michelson LT and the great work they do there.
Yeah, Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. I got the procedure done in 2003. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of glasses. After the procedure, only took 12 minutes for both eyes. 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-969-8100 for more information. You can always go online, michelsonlaservision.com.
And if you want a bank that understands you and gets all of your needs, Central State Bank is that bank. Large enough to meet every single need you've got, but small enough to know you because they are a community bank and they are about building relationships with you. And you want something to inspire that student of yours? How about smart grades with smart rewards? Central State Bank helps young achievers save for the future, teaches them great economic lessons, but also rewards their hard work, 1A at a time. The Young Savers Account. Report cards come in. Your student gets $10, up to $10 for those A's and B's. Banking that celebrates hard work and builds lifelong habits with Central State Bank. Family-owned, community-focused, Central State Bank. Member FDIC.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. 888-848-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Alabama basketball packing up to go to New York City to play St. John's, 11 a.m. Saturday morning travel day. They'll get Wrightsville and Holloway back, and you'll be able to watch them take on a very, very physical Rick Pitino St. John's team. 11 a.m. FS1 Saturday morning. Auburn back in action tonight. Merrimack down at Neville Arena. I think it's the 72nd straight sellout they'll have at Neville Arena for Stephen Pearl's second game. That's happening tonight. This hour brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Champy'sChicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling, absolutely the best there. And he has been doing it at such an elite level for over a decade. It almost seems automatic, right? That you go there and you know, boom, I'm going to get an A-plus meal, because he is so consistent at making sure every customer gets the best Champy's has to offer. Brined overnight, cooked to order fried chicken, juicy down to the bone. Huge hand-cut chicken fingers. Wonderful Mississippi Delta recipe tamales with just a touch of heat in them right there. It's all on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Perfect for your tailgatings, your meetings, and everything that goes with a wonderful Southern meal right there at Champy's Chicken. Champy'sChicken.com. That's our buddy Sterling and the crew down there at Champy's Chicken. College football discussion continues before Dan Orlovsky joins the show here in a second. By the way, tonight, as LT mentioned, UTSA and USF, 6:30 ESPN. Georgia Southern App State, 6:30 ESPN 2, by the way, tonight. If you if you partake in ESPN programming, if you have the resources to do that tonight. LSU's coaching search. Couple of notes. Matt Moscano interviewing the new athletic director, who's not the new athletic director, Verge Osbury. Head coaching experience preferred, but not required, he said in the search.
I again, got no problem with this. I don't know why, and I see ADs do this all the time. They put out qualifications for the guy we're going to hire. He's got to have been a head coach, or he's got to have done this after this. Why don't you just say, we're going to hire the guy we think's the best coach for the job? Why even put out public qualifications? I've never really understood that.
I haven't either.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because you paint yourself into a corner with that.
Why limit yourself? Yeah.
The really interesting thing that came out of Verge Osbury's story yesterday, he was working as an underling for Scott Woodward, the AD. He became the interim AD, charged with heading up this search committee. And then the new president took over and instantly took the interim tag off. And so everybody wrote the stories that LSU guy, former linebacker on 2 SEC championship teams, Verge Osbury, was now your athletic director. And then the new president of the school gets asked about him being the permanent. And he goes, no, I just took the interim tag off. He's acting athletic director. We'll make a final decision later on. As if the president of the school really didn't know what interim meant.
So instead of interim, he's acting?
So he's back to just the acting athletic director, Verge Osbury.
So for like 2 days, everybody thought this guy was the actual athletic director.
Yeah.
And that's the way they framed it.
Yeah, I wonder if Verge thought that. Do you think Verge thought he was the actual full-time athletic director?
If I'm the interim and you pull the interim tag off, 99.9% of the time, unless it's LSU in this particular point in history, means you're now the full-time guy. But no, he's now the actor. Interim to acting, and we'll make a final decision later on. Brian Kelly, WBRZ, I forget which station, had the exclusive email that Brian Kelly sent to Scott Woodward. But Brian Kelly sends an email that leaks out in Baton Rouge media, and it's to Scott Woodward, to Verge Osbury, Julie Cromer, and Austin Thomas. And it was a Sunday late afternoon. Scott and team. Very nice email, blah, 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 blah. As we discussed in a meeting, I'm open to your desire to reach a settlement of what's owed to me under the contract, although, of course, it would have to make sense financially, from Brian Kelly. But he's very thankful in that, a very nice letter, I'm sure, that was written by his representation. But in there, he says, listen, I know you guys expressed wanting to reach a settlement. I'm open to that, but it's got to make sense for me financially. How can a settlement make sense to me financially if I'm not getting all the money I'm owed?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there must be some kind of wiggle room for LSU, because I would assume his agents, I mean, if you're cut and gone and you've been fired publicly mid-season, you want every single dime they owe you.
But I guess if it's spread out over time, we can come up with some lump sum and get it all up front.
So what was it, 58? Is that right? Was that the number?
Something like
58?
that, yeah.
So if I owe you $58 million over, let's say, 6 years.
Yeah.
Or I'll give you 30 right now. Which one are you going with?
I'm going to take 30 right now.
I'm going to take 30 right now.
Yeah.
30 right now, because Brian Kelly can have one of these jobs next year.
That's
He'll
right.
Be making another $10 million a year.
Or if he doesn't, he's got 30 right now, and he can.
Yeah.
You know,
I wonder if he'll look to the NFL.
I wonder if the NFL would look to him, though.
Do you?
There's only 32 jobs.
No, I get it, but I mean, you hired Liam Cohen.
I know, but
that's a good point.
I mean, what does Brian Kelly bring to the table?
Brian Kelly's a hell of a coach. I don't know why people think this guy can't coach.
Well, he just got fired. I mean, that's the reason why.
He didn't call plays, right?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so. Yeah.
I mean, I know the NFL coaches. They're not just souped-up coordinators, but most of the good ones, Sean McVay calls his own plays, right? So, I mean...
some of the bad ones do, too. I mean, might be Danny.
Brian Kelly has won, up until he got to LSU, won a championship everywhere he was. And I just don't think he forgot how to coach. And by the way, I mean, the outcomes, it wasn't like LSU was a disaster. It just didn't make sense what was going on.
It just doesn't seem to me in the NFL that you need a CEO head coach. You've got a general manager to handle that. To me, in the NFL, I mean, you need a head coach, obviously, but I'm okay with it being a play caller. It seems to be less. It works less in college that way, but more successful. Andy Reid calls his own plays.
Yeah, but Belichick was pretty much he was a guy that delegated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of the current successful NFL coaches that you would say meet the CEO criteria. Yeah. McVay does not. Andy Reid does not.
Yes. Sirianni.
Sirianni.
Dan Campbell.
Sirianni called his own plays, right? And got criticism for that, so he gave it up.
And Dan Campbell.
He calls his own plays.
Dan Campbell is one that I would say might fit that role.
Oh, he calls his plays, doesn't he?
No, I don't.
Doesn't he a defensive guy? Doesn't he call it the defense?
Well, I mean, he didn't last year. Aaron Glenn did. Now, maybe he has this year since Aaron Glenn's the Jets head coach. I don't know. But Aaron Glenn was calling the plays last year. So it would be new if he has.
And I always picture Belichick being hands-on
on
the defense.
Doubt. I think all these guys are going to be hands-on. I think when you say CEO, I'm trying to think of an example of a CEO head
Mike
coach.
Tomlin to me.
I guess.
He's a culture guy to me. Like he is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, I would agree with you. My gosh, he's been the coach there forever, so he just about is. But my issue with Brian Kelly in the NFL would be we've seen purple face screaming in the face of players Brian Kelly
That's
before.
not going to work.
I don't think that's going to work in the NFL.
Didn't work with Saban with his track record.
Saban had an issue with that in Miami, and that was
Of course, that doesn't work at the college level.
Yeah, it really doesn't anymore. You're right.
Our friends at Hemp Hill bringing you part of the show today, Dan Orlovsky, in just a second. Hemp Hill, if it's not running right, flowing right, or draining right, they can come help you out even on the weekend.
Yeah, Adam, Chad, Andrew awaiting your call. If you have any of these issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Always sponsoring Lance's Lock. We appreciate that. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
You notice how many teams have no wins in conference play in the SEC? Just Arkansas. Now do the Big Ten. If you want a top-heavy conference, Purdue, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Penn State, all with no wins.
That's hard to believe.
Add in pretty bad teams in Maryland and Rutgers with one loss. Big Ten, very, very top-heavy. This is the best floor that I can remember the SEC having.
Ever, yeah. I would agree with you because Arkansas is not awful.
They're not.
I mean, it took them 18 penalties and 200 yards of penalties last week to lose that game. I know it was to Mississippi State.
It was to State,
but
they're
in almost every game too, though.
Yeah, but I don't know when we turned our power rankings into Brooks. I assume you guys had Auburn and Arkansas, the two worst teams in the SEC.
I had Arkansas worse and Auburn 15.
Yeah, that's where I had Arkansas 16, Auburn 15.
I don't know if I had Auburn that bad.
Wow, who did you have behind Auburn?
I mean, the other discussion to me would have been Kentucky, which I had at 14.
But Kentucky had just beaten Auburn, so it's kind of hard to go that route.
I had them 14.
Kentucky 13, South Carolina 14, Auburn 15, Arkansas 16.
I was interested to see
close
who
to me. I had South Carolina ahead of Kentucky.
Yeah, I was interested to see who you had behind Auburn because the only team you can make a case to put behind Auburn is Arkansas, who they actually beat on the field.
But just think about that. Even take Arkansas out. The floor of the SEC, 15 teams deep, take Arkansas out. 3-6, 1-6 in the league, South Carolina, that has at least 2 first-round draft picks on the team.
They do. And
a quarterback and a pass rusher.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think, and you guys will have to help me.
Maybe more with Nick Harbor down the road and things like that.
I mean, they took Alabama to the absolute bell. Not really at LSU. I mean, they were in that game. I don't think they took them to the final bell.
What was that, 20-10?
Something like that. But
man, as I look at this, you know what? This is crazy. I think you could have outside, you guys follow me.
Okay.
Alabama, A&M, and Texas, you could have coaching changes at every program.
Wait a minute,
with programs, with coaches moving on, is what you're saying.
You didn't say Georgia.
Yeah, okay, so Alabama, A&M, and Georgia. Ole Miss.
Coach leaves.
Yeah, coach leaves. Yeah. Texas, coach leaves. Okay.
Texas, start to the NFL.
Oklahoma.
Are we not out of the Brent Venables window? I mean,
I don't think
7-2. I mean, I guess they could still finish 7-5, which probably wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah, what if they lose their last 3?
Okay.
How do you feel about him?
Well,
I'm just saying it's on the table. Clark Lee leaving Vanderbilt.
Leaving, yeah.
Drink leaving Missouri.
There's no doubt.
Ipo leaving Tennessee.
Would be, I mean.
It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, where are you going to go from Tennessee?
LSU's already there.
Open.
Mississippi State. possibility.
Lebby left, yeah.
Florida, already happened. Kentucky, possibility. South Carolina, one way or the other, and they've already made a change at offensive coordinator. Auburn's already made their change. Arkansas's already made their change. That is insane.
I mean, no, you're right. You can make a case.
I mean, just hear me out. If you're an Oklahoma fan, and you look at the job Brent Venables is doing right now, and the job Jeff Lebby's doing right now.
Oh, if I can have Lebby, I'm taking him. And I want that offense back. I know it fell short with Lincoln Riley, but man, they were in the mix every year.
It was they weren't winning championships on the national level. They were on the Big 12 level.
Yep.
But they were fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you weren't winning a national championship, we had fun getting there.
Now it's a bye week, and they could definitely come in to spoil the Alabama party.
Oklahoma, yeah.
With that defense.
Oh no, they could. I mean, look, that is far from a layup for Alabama.
And a running quarterback, John Mateer, just like Jackson Arnold was.
Yeah,
last year.
their offense has struggled of late, and the question is it Mateer's hand? Is it
another full week of rest with that hand?
No, that does help. I just wonder. I personally, and I'm not studying film and the X's and O's, I just feel like Ben Arbuckle has now put enough on film that these SEC defensive coordinators are seeing his offense at Oklahoma and are catching up with it. That's what I believe.
New York Butcher Shop gets us to Dan Orlovsky. We'll talk a little NFL with Orlovsky as we start another week 10 tonight.
The New York Butcher Shop, a great place to stop in and pick up the steaks, the ribs, the chicken, the pork. Great staff of butchers right there with our friend Jim. One-stop dinner shop, 2 locations, the original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 and Greystone. Don't forget about the incredible sides made in-house fresh every day. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts. Rare quality, well-done service, 2 locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 and Greystone. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
By the way, no C.J. Stroud for Houston as they have a big division game with Jacksonville this weekend, and Kyler Murray is put on the IR for the Cardinals, so that means he's going to miss at least 4 more games. Jacoby Brissett already set to start his 4th straight game for Arizona, so he'll take that to a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th. Arizona with a tricky game against Seattle this weekend with Brissett getting the start.
More than tricky. I mean, Seattle is...
Tricky for Seattle, I meant.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
With Brissett now, yeah.
That's interesting. Y'all, I mean, I know Jacoby Brissett played well.
They're playing a lot better with. I mean, they're averaging a full touchdown more with Brissett. Look, I don't think he's a long-term answer by any means for Gannon and Arizona right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if we never see Kyler Murray start a game.
It wouldn't shock me, especially with him on the IR now. That's by the time he's back off the IR, you may be to the situation where, like, why even play him unless you're showcasing him for a trade.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you've got enough. You know why he is. But I was just gonna say real quick. I feel like we do this week to week, but you could make the case right now Seattle's the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
You make that case.
I mean, you could.
I'm not saying it's 100%.
I mean, they've got a dominant defense. You've got 2 running backs in Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. You just added a deep threat to complement Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Sam Darnold's playing like an MVP right now. So, yeah, I got no problem with that. I said it earlier this week. I think the Rams and Seattle are the 2 best teams in the NFL right at this moment.
Yeah. We get to see our buddy, former NIL weekly guest of the show, Bo Nix, in action tonight. And Bo Nix is playing some great football. Raiders and Broncos kick off another weekend tonight.
Yep. You know who's not playing great football? The Raiders. And that's probably good for Bo Nix. They have struggled of late. Dan Orlovsky talks NFL with us at this time every single week on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. What is up, Dan? How are you today?
I'm doing great. What's going on, fellas?
Not a whole lot. I asked the question before you connected, and this changes week to week because we've probably had this discussion about a handful of teams already this NFL season. Can I make the case Seattle is the best team in the NFL right now?
There's no doubt. They are a football team that, one, plays offensively the style that I just believe right now in the NFL you have to, which is at you underneath the center and play action pass. They got a receiver that is basically uncoverable. They've got speed vertically. Their offensive line's a good unit. The quarterback's as hot as anybody going. And they've got a scheme that's diverse. They got a defense that, one, can stop the run without people at the ball. 2, can creatively get after the quarterback with some of their zone pressures or fire zones so that they don't have to commit a bunch of numbers. And then 3, can cover physically on the perimeter. And so and I think they got a head coach that's, kind of can handle the moment as well. And so, yeah, I mean, the NFC has got 3 or 4 teams that I just think are high first-class units, and Seattle absolutely could be one of them. It is one of them.
When you were coming on, I don't know if you heard me say, I really think the best two teams are right there in the West with the Rams and Seahawks. And I know when I say the Rams, people laugh because it's my team. But at the same time, I try to be very objective. With that said about the Rams, Matthew Stafford right now, and look, and I always knock on wood because you never know. He's 38 years old, and health has been a problem at times. And we talked about the bad back in August. But he is playing, in my opinion, better than any quarterback in the league right now in the NFL. Do you think this continues throughout the season if he can stay healthy?
No, there's no doubt. There's no one throwing it better than Matthew. I mean, some of the throws he makes right now, I still marvel at every week, even though we've seen him almost on a week-by-week basis. I mean, he threw a 35-yard no-look in route last week. I don't even know how many guys can throw a 35-yard in route, like when they're seeing it, let alone not seeing it. The great thing that they're doing right now is he's clean. I mean, they're just keeping him so upright, and that goes back to Sean McVay and their play calling, their style of offense, and how much they're committing to protecting. And a lot of their pass game, or a lot of their run game is not overly creative, but I think that they build enough off of it where the protection is still a primary thing. And so with Puka and Devontae, and I think the connection with Devontae has gotten better over the past couple of weeks because that was missing. And so I would say this. I mean, do I think it continues? There's no doubt. I would be surprised if one of those two teams from the West is not in the NFC title game. I just watching every single snap of them play football this year, I just would be surprised if in the NFC title game, one of those teams, Seattle or Rams, is not in it.
I keep up with a next-gen stat here, Dan. I'm averaging 21 seconds of getting you from when you pop up onto the air here. I don't know how many of these you do around the country, but that's pretty quick getting you on the air. We value your time around here. Is that a pretty good stat there?
Thank you. No, that would probably be the leader because I do a decent amount of these. I enjoy them. Some they take a little bit of time to get to it. You guys are right to the punch, so I like that.
Yeah, I try hard. I'm anxious. I'm an anxious guy, and when I see you pop up, I want to get to you instantly. Who won the trade? Who did the best that's going to help them win a championship on the trade deadline?
Yeah, I really think it's the Philadelphia Eagles, and there's a little bit of nuance to that one for me. One, you didn't get rid of A.J. Brown, and there was a lot of noise, and whether there was inside or outside or public perception or not, just with A.J., and they kept A.J., so I think that's a win. Then the addition of Jalen Phillips is a big deal. You know, everyone talks about this football team in Philly. The reality is they got to create more negative plays on defense. I think in the NFC, it's about firepower. You got to have firepower to get to the Super Bowl, and a lot of teams do. And so one of the ways you can help that is like trying to minimize teams doing that. And so they are getting around the quarterback. They're just not getting him down. Phillips can do that. And so I think the addition of Jalen Phillips is an impactful thing. And so Jair Alexander hasn't been what he was in the past. We'll see if he can rekindle some of that. But I just think those two players, and this isn't a trade thing, but Nolan Smith is coming back for that football team as well from injury. And so I think with where they are and where they want to go, very impressed with what they did.
Dan Orlovsky with us from ESPN on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline. In that same division, Dallas made two defensive trades at 3-5-1. Their defense has been terrible. Everybody knows that. Did these two trades, including former Alabama great Quinnen Williams, do enough to move the needle at all for them?
Not really. I mean, yes, they're going to be improved, right? They had two good players, but this doesn't make them a playoff football team. I honestly think it creates like a little bit of a futuristic problem. One, how can they pay Quinnen and re-sign George Pickens? This team right now, as projected today, is $78 million over the cap for next season. You're not trading for Quinnen Williams and unlikely not giving him a new contract extension. You gave up a third-round pick for George Pickens. He's been the second best player on your team this year. He's going to want to get paid. And I understand there's restructurings and cap hits, and so, but that means that to re-sign George Pickens, you will have to get rid of other starters on your team right now. I don't know who those guys would be. You could put two and two together when it looks at cap and age and whatnot and all that, but I just think it gives them another hurdle that they're going to have to jump over now, when it comes to trying to re-sign George Pickens. Because if this is a trade that we sit there and say benefits us in the future, if you don't get the chance to re-sign George, then that would minimize the viewpoint of them on the future.
By the way, Dan just said the Dallas Cowboys are having to choose who to re-sign with a massive deal. Winona's Quentin Williams or Hoover's George Pickens.
I know. Both of our local kids.
Big moment for our city right there.
Yeah.
The Dallas freaking Cowboys.
Hey, going back to Heinz Field this past weekend, what do you take out of Indianapolis and Pittsburgh? Because Pittsburgh seemed like one of these teams, kind of a fugazi on the surface. The record was better than they were, but they put it all together, and Daniel Jones, unfortunately for Colts fans, the old Daniel maybe showed up a little bit. Do you think that's just kind of a one-game situation for the Colts, or do you believe it's more of a one-game situation for the Steelers looking that good?
If the Steelers get takeaways, they could beat anybody in football, but they need takeaways. That they don't play a dominant brand of ball defensively. So if they could get takeaways, they can play with anyone, right? I'm not banking on that being the case because the turnovers are a little bit of hit or miss. In relation to Indy, the reality in that game was Pittsburgh said on early downs, Indy loves to pass the football on those situations. We're going to play the pass. And Indy never adjusts to that. So it was credit to Pittsburgh, really smart game plan. Daniel didn't play as good, but I think it's a little bit because of the vantage point or the viewpoint of how they were playing defense against him. I think it's a blip in the radar. It's a one game. Is exactly Daniel is. It's a game where if you don't think Daniel Jones is a good player, you can point to it. And so, I do think it's a blip in the radar, but we were just talking about this on First Take. It is hard to just unremember the Daniel Jones of the past. There's a giant body of work that said you led the NFL in giveaways for 3 years. And so I'm rooting for him. I hope he plays well and continues to play well. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in football this year. But it is a game that just makes you sit there and go, okay, you're still reminding me of your past.
Is there a chance when Baker Mayfield gets a new contract with the Buccaneers, he'll be the highest paid player in NFL history?
Wow.
Oof. I don't think so. He's going to get a ton of cash again, but when Patrick's contract's got to be coming up again soon. You're going to have players like Joe Burrow probably coming up again soon. You're going to have players like C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels. So by the time we get there with Baker, which I would imagine be this next offseason, I mean, maybe, but I think Baker is also smart enough to realize you save a little, it's a big deal for your team.
You just mentioned Jaden Daniels, Dan, and you played in the league. You know all the guys in the league. Quarterbacks don't want to tap out of a game. They just don't. I mean, you got to drag those guys out of there, right? And the easiest thing in hindsight to do is say, why did Dan Quinn have him in a game down by that much? Is it even a fair discussion to have the way the NFL works?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, but every situation, context matters. This was a situation where a quarterback has been hit the most in the NFL since he became part of it over the start of last year, 322 times. Number two, he's a guy that has missed time this year because of injury. Number three, he's a quarterback that makes plays with his legs that you just can't competitively squash. You could take a pocket passing quarterback and get the ball out of your hands. When you're a dynamic athlete, it's hard to rein that in. So I think the understanding of the context and the totality of the situation sits there and goes, yeah, I was very surprised that they had him in that game and called a play that even gave him the chance to hold on to the football.
Just a week ago, a handful of guys had Green Bay their number one team in the NFL in their power rankings. They have lost now at home to the Panthers, at Cleveland, and they tied the Dallas Cowboys. Where are you on Green Bay right now?
Very good and talented team that is too immature. And will they mature enough over the next 6 to 8 weeks for them to go at a real run? They're unbelievably talented. Their offensive line's not championship caliber yet, but they've had some injuries. The defense is a very good unit that has been let down by the offense twice. Until this group matures in a way that they can play a consistent level week by week, they'll remain talented but not Super Bowl caliber.
All right, he is Dan Orlovsky. You see him all weekend talking college football and the NFL on ESPN. Thank you very much for the time, Dan. Safe travels. We'll see you next week.
All right, fellas.
All right, buddy. Take care. Dan with us on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show also being brought to you by the wonderful folks at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Your opportunity right now to jumpstart that weight loss with a variety of different plans. At Way to Wellness, Leslie and her board-certified team, they give you a free consultation. There's no contract, no sign-up fees, and that consultation is free. So go to the website to find out more details, planforme.com. Listen, they can do a variety of different things. There's a whole menu, and no plan is the same, but injection therapy, if you're interested in that, meal replacements. I do these protein bars. I'm about to have one as a mid-morning snack here in this next commercial break, and that keeps me from bad snacking there. It's all right there at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. When we come back, we'll do trash. We'll talk about Auburn's future scheduling, and a couple of more things. This is the next round right here.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama. No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Back with you on the next round. Before we get to trash and more football, our friends at Company Distilling reminding you can get out and enjoy the fire pit with a great bourbon whiskey.
Yeah, and we are working on some really cool events coming up with our friends at Company Distilling. If you've been waiting to try whiskey as good as the company you keep, this is your moment. Find your bottle and learn more at companydistilling.com/Alabama. Available throughout the state of Alabama. Also available in Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. The man behind the bottle, Jeff Arnett, the master distiller at Company Distilling. Former master distiller at Jack Daniels. 3 great locations to visit throughout Tennessee: Townsend, Lynchburg, Thompson Station. Whether you're on a weekend getaway or planning a whiskey road trip, one of these destinations should be on your must-visit list. Again, for more information on the product and those locations, go to companydistilling.com/Alabama.
All right. I'm watching on McAfee show on TV5 over here. They're at Texas Tech this weekend. Was it awkward for you guys when the Baylor AD, Mack Rhodes, who was talking in the college football selection show, and he's going through the rankings, and they do that post interview with him,
which they tie themselves in knots every time.
Yeah. Well, this guy was trying to be more personable, and he talked about BYU and Texas Tech, and he says, "You're welcome, ESPN," in the conversation. He was like, and of course we've got BYU at 7 and Texas Tech at 8. You're welcome, ESPN.
Almost like ESPN runs this thing.
Yeah, and
almost like ESPN selects who they want to be in there for TV ratings.
And it was a cringe moment. Like here's the head of the selection committee saying, "We sort of teed this one up for you guys, College Game Day this week. Going there, here's 7 versus 8 for you."
Well, and it's hard to find this in the Big 12. You know, the last time the Big 12 had a top 10 matchup.
I mean, I was initially going to say
we get one every month in the SEC, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
every month we get it every weekend. It seems like.
But I'm just saying worst case.
I'm gonna say Oklahoma, Texas. Last time.
So Red River, one of the Red Rivers. You know the game I was going to say, but this is y'all would laugh at this one though. Is that Baylor TCU game that was thought to be for a playoff spot, and eventually they left them both out of the 14 playoffs. But that was like 2014. It can't be that long ago.
Baylor was actually involved. It was when Baylor beat Oklahoma State on that goal line in 2021, the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, I went way too far back.
That was the last time they've had a top 10 matchup, so you just don't get these.
And that knocked one of them out of a 14 playoff,
Oklahoma
right?
State,
Yeah, Oklahoma State. They were so close in the 2 team, and Alabama got in front of them, and they were so close in the 4 team, and that play right there kept them out of it.
I bet Gundy, that in 2011, I bet when he's drinking his Company Distilling, staring at his fire in his backyard in his pit,
no doubt.
That's all he thinks about.
Not one time have you heard Mike Gundy's name mentioned for one single opening.
I mean, I wouldn't be interested, really.
Mike Gundy?
I mean, I thought he did a great job there.
Arkansas is just down the road.
I mean, I'd take a look if I was Arkansas.
I was going to say if I were Virginia Tech and got far enough down the list.
Who did we say Arkansas earlier?
Dan Mullen. I'd go Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen was what USA Today said. A lot of people are saying Ryan Silverfield from Memphis to Arkansas, but I wonder if that's just geography.
I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised Silverfield doesn't get more love. Like, you know how we feel about Summerall. I'm glad he's getting the pub. Golish in that same conference. With all due respect to our buddy John Summerall and Alex Golish, Silverfield has done more in that conference than either one of them. Now, I don't know if it's the fact that nobody goes from Memphis and has success. Maybe that's hurting him. But this guy has been extremely consistent in his product at Memphis. And, you know, I laid out, not that I've ever hired a coach, but I laid out, like, if I were going to hire a coach, one thing I would look at, a guy that has success on the lower levels, like an American coach that has success, did he just happen into a generational quarterback at that school and that gave him the success? That's not true of Silverfield. I mean, that guy has won over 4 or 5 years there.
In fact, if he's going to win Friday night, he's probably going to do it with his backup again.
Yeah, and the one game they lost at UAB, now UAB was also starting their backup, but Memphis started their backup quarterback in that game. So even this year, he's battled through quarterback injuries and still has them on the verge of this.
What is their secret to success, Memphis? Because they've become
FedEx money,
the most power or most consistent Power 4 program out there.
I would bet you
guys remember how difficult the job was years ago.
I know in basketball this is the case in the American.
But that's what's weird is they aren't. They're better in football now than they are in basketball.
I think they've made. I mean, do you think Penny Hardaway's a good coach? There are times he's looked like a good coach. But I will guarantee you, for their level of football, Dunaway, their NIL is probably number one. Who do you think has a better NIL in Group 5 teams? Can you think of one that you would say, okay, maybe they're better? Group of 5 now, not Power Conference. Look at your Group of 5. Can you think of one that you would say is better than Memphis? Based on what you know FedEx invest in that program, and I'm not saying FedEx funds the NIL, but I'm saying FedEx invest enough in the program that it frees up other boosters for you to go say, FedEx has covered this. You help me on NIL.
So
right?
What was the original question about the Power 4?
I'm saying you name me a Group of 5 team that you think has a better NIL than Memphis.
Yeah, I don't know.
I bet you there's not one.
I mean, the best Group 5 historically is Boise State, but
their
there's
NIL
no way.
can't touch, man. Not with that kind of money. I bet you there's not one, Jim. I mean, you're looking through them. You're not going to find one that you're like, oh, okay, I bet you they're in front of Memphis. So that answers your question. Why are they successful at that level?
Yeah.
Because they've got the advantage over every other school in that level.
I mean, do you guys remember them being? I mean, what have they been? What's been their record the last few years?
I bet you Silverfield averages 9 wins a year.
I've always thought it's dropped off.
No, I think it's 9-3 would be his average.
I bet you. Do you have his numbers up, Jim?
9-3, good in the American.
In the American, yeah.
You probably play 2 bye games a year, maybe 1.
Okay.
The American's the most like with a massive talent. It's almost the Group 5 equivalent of the SEC.
Holy crap. Silverfield's been there since 19. I forgot he was the interim. He's not going to average 9 wins because it took him a minute to get it going. 8-3, 6-6, 7-6, but 10-3, 11-2 the last 2 years, and he's 8-1 this year.
Okay.
So he's going to knock on the door of another 10-win season.
Took him a while to get it going. What was the 18 record?
Oh, he didn't coach in 18. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
He replaced
Mike Norvell.
Yeah, Norvell.
Yeah, what was Norvell when he left?
Well, it was obviously good.
It was good
because he got the Florida State job.
I'm not saying he was having to rebuild.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it took him a minute to get going as a head coach.
See, I've looked at him like he's done, to me, less than what's been normal at Memphis.
Memphis was 10-3. I'm going to give you his 2 good years before this year. 10-3. They lost to Missouri. They lost to Tulane. Both those are close games, and they lost 38-34 to SMU.
Yep.
I mean, and that's before SMU was in the ACC. I get all that, but still, that was a conference game. Last year, they were 11 wins. They lost at Navy, conference game, at UTSA, conference game. That was it. They beat Florida State, which a lot of people beat Florida State last year, but that was their big bye game. So, I mean, I don't know what you want him to do at Memphis more than that.
Well, that's been 2 conference losses each year.
It's the best Group of 5 conference.
If I've got more NIL money than everybody in that league, that seems to be doing less than
everything.
I still don't know how they beat both Arkansas and South Florida, but that UAB loss alone should keep them out of the college football playoff.
I don't disagree with you. It's a terrible loss.
Hey, before we get to trash, the show being brought to you by a couple of great folks. One of them is our friends at Odie's, where last night the question was...
The question last night was, what is the only letter that is not represented on the periodic table?
Jeeves? One of 26 letters are not on the periodic table.
Yeah, see, I want this to be one that you really, really do and don't jeeve it up by looking at Google.
What's your gut guess? You're thinking over it, but your gut guess was what?
W.
W is a great answer.
You know what's great? When I threw this out, like, how would you know this? But Maddie immediately knew it.
Hold on.
Nerd alert!
I'm going to say, was it W? Is W correct?
W is incorrect.
Okay. I'm going to say the answer is X.
By the way,
Xenon.
No.
I guessed X too, Xenon. W, oddly, is tungsten. I don't know how we came up with W for tungsten.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But W is tungsten.
J as in Jim.
J.
J is the only letter that is not represented on the periodic table.
Dang it.
I learned it last night. I will probably not know it in 2 weeks, but there you go. Little nuggets that you learn when you come out to Odie's Team Trivia. We do it every Wednesday night, the original location right there in Crestline. Newest location in Edgewood. Great food from Rodney Davis for almost 4 decades now. The award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Get out to one of those great locations. Live music tonight and tomorrow night. It's Odie's Tavern.
And our friends at Odie's pour the great taste of Coca-Cola as well, a great Coke product location, and game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. So too for Bama fans heading over to Bryant-Denny and Auburn fans heading up to Nashville. Enjoy the refreshing taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work.
Now, the women love you when you get out there. Why do you think that is?
What'd you say?
The women love you when you get out there.
Why is that, ladies?
Well, I'm asking you.
Huh? Because I
Why
look
do you think
good.
that is? You
I
look
smell good. I
Yeah.
feel good.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
Oh, well, there we are. We don't have to ask anybody else. We got that from the source. There you are.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Quick reminder, 11 to 2 tomorrow, Rabbit Hole in Tuscaloosa. We'll be there right on the strip, drinking cold, delicious Bud Light with our friends from Adams Beverage. Soulja Boy facing backlash after debuting yet another handheld gaming console that customers claim is an alleged copy of another pre-existing product. Back in December of 2018, rapper Soulja Boy went viral after releasing a line of hack gaming consoles similar to other handheld emulators that were available for purchase through online retailers like AliExpress and Amazon. Soulja Boy's consoles were advertised to include 3,000 built-in games, including titles from the Nintendo Switch, 3DS, PS Vita, Neo Geo, Game Boy Color, and more, as well as games simply referred to as Soulja games. Unsurprisingly, the business venture didn't last long. His website advertising the consoles swiftly taken down, leading many to believe that he had been served a legal order from Nintendo or other game publishers.
It does look an awful lot like a Game Boy, I got to tell you. I mean,
Dude,
I haven't held a Game Boy in quite a while, but when I first looked at that, I was like, that's a Game Boy.
That chain makes Diego Pavias look like a...
I mean, that's just straight up a Game
piece
Boy
of
with
spaghetti.
chrome on it.
Yeah, it is a Game Boy.
My question on that chain is, did he steal that from Cleopatra's tomb?
That looks heavy.
No, it's probably fake, but he's probably gone on Instagram Live saying it's like $250,000 or
Wait,
something.
Tyler, you think that's fake? That chain?
100%.
I mean, that chain would cost like $8 billion.
Yeah, I mean, melt that thing down and you've got 2 blocks of gold. Now, the newest console, named the Soulja Game Flip, is advertised for the gaming enthusiast who crave high-quality performance on the go, claiming it boasts a robust library of retro and modern games, offering an unparalleled gaming experience. Soulja Boy himself even showed off the product in a video on Instagram where he claimed it even has the ability to access social media platforms like TikTok. Now, while it was initially listed at an eye-watering $436, currently priced at $200, but watchdogs in the space are urging potential customers to spend their money elsewhere.
You remember when Georgia was using his song and Vern and Gary danced to it?
Yeah.
How awkward that was.
Yeah, it was an Auburn game.
It was. I think it was the blackout game.
Cranked
the
that.
Auburn.
No, they did it for a couple of seasons.
Yeah, they did.
It was the last time Auburn had a 1,000-yard receiver, I believe, that year.
Oh, no, that was 1999.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing it in the infamous blackout game.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Italian artist Maurizio Catalan, best known for the viral $6.2 million duct tape banana, is putting another headline-grabbing piece on the auction block, this time a fully functional toilet made entirely of solid gold.
Oh, look, that's Soulja Boy's necklace.
You could melt it down to that for sure.
Now, this is going to be auctioned off. The 18-karat sculpture titled America with opening bid set around $10 million. 223-pound toilet will be displayed inside of the auction house, Manhattan headquarters, ahead of its November 18th sale, though visitors will only be allowed to view, not use, the piece. Created in 2016, America was Catalan's commentary on wealth, privilege, and the absurdity of value in modern art, a theme he's explored since Comedian, his duct tape banana installation, which became a cultural phenomenon.
So can I rewind real quick? This artist, quote unquote, has done a gold toilet to showcase the absurdity of American wealth and modern art, and he's selling it for how much he hopes?
Well, they are hoping this is going to fetch $10 million. Well, the opening bid's $10 million.
Yeah.
Now, he went on to say...
Now, I bet you he takes every dime of that $10 million and doesn't give it away.
Quote, want to place something shiny and expensive in an overlooked spot. In the end, we're all the same. We remember it right there in the least noble and most necessary place.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd take one in the house. Somebody gave me one, but I'd probably try to rip it out of the wall and melt it down, right?
Yeah, if it's real gold, I'm going to melt that thing. It looks like a very uncomfortable toilet. By the way, I don't think I ever mentioned this on the show.
It's like somebody made C3P. Was it C3PO?
Yeah.
A toilet.
I don't think I ever mentioned this on the show. We were down at the beach this summer, And the toilet and the place we were staying, all the toilets had hot water in them. Have y'all ever experienced that?
It's about
like a bidet?
Yeah, bidet.
No. It was the toilet. Like when you flush the toilet and the water comes back in, it was warm / hot water.
How do you know that?
Because your butt's sweating. Like if you sit down for just a minute, it traps all that heat in there in your butt.
I thought he was setting up for a humble brag. The old the deep two joke.
These nuts. But no. I mean, like when you sit down, you can feel the heat rising up off the water.
Yeah, I've never had that.
I have never in my life
bidet,
had that.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, I even Jennifer Googled it because she was the first one to realize it, obviously being a female, right? She was the first to realize it, and she came back out. She's like, have you sat down on this toilet yet? And I'm like, no, we just got here. And she goes, it's got hot water. So she Googled it, and like I can't find any reason for it. And in fact, like there's some speculation that it's bad for the plumbing and the porcelain and all that to have the hot water in there.
That could be one of those reptiles coming up.
I tell you what, you don't sit on it long because butt starts to sweat. It gets very uncomfortable and very warm.
Is there a chance it was just coming off of a well situation or potable water that was outside, so you're not using the good water?
So Google says hot water in a toilet is typically caused by a crossed hot and cold water
That's what
line,
I assume.
a malfunctioning fill valve or flapper, or a faulty mixing valve.
Yeah.
Valve.
Okay. I thought they just got the wrong line in there. Maybe they'd had some plumbing done.
I've never heard of that.
Oh man, it is very uncomfortable.
Multiple snakes coming up in trash, but through the toilet, but never hot water.
Never that.
42-year-old man arrested Friday morning after robbing the Huntington Bank on West State Street, marking the city's first bank robbery since 2010. Now, according to the Alliance Police Department, Jawan Mason, seen right here, recently moved to Alliance from Akron. He entered the bank around 9:20 a.m., claimed he had a weapon, demanded cash, fled on foot with approximately $400 in $1 bills. Police responded immediately, searched the area. Patrolman Paul Vesco located Mason walking on South Union Avenue. He had changed clothes and was carrying the stolen money.
It's a phenomenal hoodie he's got on, by the way. The Smurfs.
Now, Mason was taken into custody without incident and booked into the county jail on a charge of aggravated robbery. Police noted that he did have a lengthy criminal record. Now, authorities again said that he had just moved to Alliance 5 days before the robbery. This is the interesting part. During his arrest, he reportedly asked police, "Can you deposit the stolen cash into my jail commissary account?" Now, this is his first bank robbery in 15 years. Police stated that all bank robberies in the city since 2000 have been solved. He is not going to get the $200 or the $400 in the commissary, though.
That is a bold request. I know I stole this, but you can please put it in my commissary account. I got to eat in the clean.
I need Doritos and
That's
ramen.
Right. Got to eat in the clean.
Spiders or snakes? If you had to be in a, we'll do sleeping bag, 1,000 spiders or one big, large snake?
1,000?
I think I would take the
I'll
snake.
go big, large snake, yeah. Over 1,000 spiders. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I would ask what kind of spider, what kind of snake.
That's right.
So I went to the pumpkin patch like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you ride out there and then you pick up your pumpkin, and I picked mine up, and there was the biggest black widow on the bottom of it.
Oh no!
And the dude that was out there cutting the pumpkins up had just been bitten the month before, and he still has a swollen spot on his leg from all the venom. He had to go to the hospital and get the antivenom and everything. But that's the first time I've ever seen a black widow like that in the wild.
I've seen a black widow in my parents' the house I grew up in. I saw a black widow.
I'd rather be bitten by the black widow than the brown recluse, though.
Yeah, the brown recluse is worse, right?
Well, just because you can lose your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brown recluse bites turn necrotic and start rotting.
Yeah.
But that's usually for people who don't typically go to the doctor because they'll lose a finger before they're like, I think something's wrong.
Well, if something turns black on me, I'm going to take it in. Okay, the reason I bring up spiders, researchers have uncovered what may be the largest spider web on Earth.
Oh,
and
my word.
As you can imagine,
No, thank
it is
you.
the stuff of nightmares. More than 111,000 spiders are living together inside of this pitch black cave on the Albanian-Greek border, forming a colossal web that stretches over 1,100 square feet.
They think how many spiders are in their land?
111,000. Can you imagine walking into this blind?
No.
Yeah, that's New York City. That's New York City for spiders. That's a big metro. It's Tokyo.
It's their biggest city.
You know what? I'm going to stay out of New York City moving forward, and I'm going to stay out of this cave.
I mean, can you imagine just the feel of the web all? Oh
Now, the discovery published October 17th in Subterranean Biology reveals a sprawling network of interconnected funnel-shaped webs coating a low, narrow passage near the cave entrance. Researchers estimate that 69,000 barn funnel weaver spiders and more than 42,000 sheet weaver spiders are sharing the same sprawling structure.
Are those poisonous?
I don't think so.
Venomous?
Doesn't
Are they
matter.
venomous or poisonous spiders?
Venomous.
Venomous.
Poison has to be ingested. Venom is injected.
Thank you, Jeeves.
And
That's all I
that
got.
is Trash Today, brought to you in part by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Champy's Chicken, right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling. And don't forget, man, they do birthday parties. If you got a wedding reception, if you just have an office party, anything like that. If you want to get together and celebrate anything going on at work, you can do that with our friends at Champy's. They'll come to your place, or you can go for a great outing at that beautiful location on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's our friends at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go enjoy that as the playoffs start this week in high school football. So if you're going to the Thompson game, you can go down there and get some wonderful Champy's Chicken right there. Final thoughts here as we make our way out today on the NFL happening this weekend. It starts tonight with the Raiders and the Broncos. Nobody playing better football maybe than Drake May at New England right now. He's playing great MVP, but Bo Nix is right there too, playing good football for the Broncos as they play the hapless Raiders tonight. Give me a thought on the game, guys. What do you think of Raiders and Broncos tonight, 7 o'clock on Prime?
Yeah, I mean, since the Broncos 1-2 start, they have reeled off 6 consecutive wins. Last week wasn't easy. I'll stick by it. If Stroud doesn't go out, they lose the game. But they were on the road against a surging Texans team, and they find a way to win it. And, yes, Bo Nix is playing at a high level. This defense is playing at a high level. The Broncos have everything in front of them, including the potential to maybe get home field advantage, depending on how this thing breaks.
I mean, if they win tonight, they've got the most wins in the NFL of any team. Obviously, they're a game ahead of a lot of teams because they've played a Thursday night game before the others play their Sunday and Monday games. But they currently are tied for the most wins. And I was going to ask you, of the 7-2s, who do you most trust? There are 3 7-2s in the NFL. Denver, Indianapolis, and the New England Patriots. Who do you trust most?
I would go Indy and then Denver, but really, really close, and then Patriots. I mean,
Denver.
Patriots can show me something this weekend on the road against Tampa.
Denver, Indianapolis, New England.
So New England's there for both of y'all, and I think I probably would agree. I think I may have Denver in front of Indianapolis. I don't know. I do think it is very, very tight. And it's just remarkable to me that Bo Nix is playing this level of football in the NFL.
Big announcement yesterday, boy, exciting if you're an Auburn fan. Hadn't been a lot to get excited about in Auburn football, but this will do it for you. Auburn and Notre Dame doing that home and home series in 2027 and 2028. 2027 on the road at South Bend, if I remember correctly. 2028 back at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Not a one-off, not a neutral site game. John Cohen getting the home and home. Justin Hokanson of Auburn Live. You can go read all of his content covering Auburn football, Auburn Live. It's worth the price of admission there to stay on top of everything there. But Hoke points out that maybe it was the ability to move the Baylor game, controversial in some circles, from Jordan-Hare to Atlanta that gave them a little freedom in the schedule. A little freedom to get a home and home situation here. I don't know if that meant financially to where you can give up you get a Notre Dame game in the future coming, whatever. But Hoke explains it all right there at auburnlive.com. But Notre Dame, that's anytime you get Notre Dame on your schedule, that's a big deal.
Well, yeah, absolutely it is, especially if you get to see them in your place. And like you said, it's not neutral site. There's been a lot of scheduling. There have been a lot of scheduling changes based on the 9-game schedule where teams are having to drop games, and it got blamed on the 9-game. Now that we know the 9-game, let's see if teams put their money where their mouth is and start scheduling games like that. You can do it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Auburn had nothing coming up. They have a 29 and a 30 home and home with Miami, and that is it as far as any sort of named opponent.
Yeah,
so,
but now we know why, because they've been working behind the scenes on 27-28, and that's pretty good there. If you go 27-28 with Notre Dame, 29-30 with Miami, I like that.
I wish Indiana would have done this with Notre Dame because, that just seems like a natural rivalry. We saw it in the postseason last year. We know Cignetti has not scheduled any quality at all.
And doesn't make apologies.
But I love the fact, have we ever seen Auburn Notre Dame?
No, it's the first meeting ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. It ain't no bowl game, nothing. So.
Well, I tell you what, if you're a Notre Dame fan, I mean, some of this is out of conference. I mean, some of this is the ACC agreement, I should say. But the way these teams are playing right now, I mean, 2027, you get Auburn, you get Georgia Tech, you get Clemson. The way they're playing right now, Auburn and Clemson don't excite you as much, but you don't think they're going to stay down. You've also got Michigan State. You're at Duke, if Duke can keep it going. The next year that they play Auburn, they've got Texas, Arkansas, and Auburn. 3 SEC games on Notre Dame's schedule that year. I mean,
they had Texas A&M and Arkansas this year.
Yeah, and so you add Auburn, take away Texas A&M. So listen to this 28 schedule for Notre Dame. Texas, Arkansas, at Purdue, at Auburn, at Virginia Tech, Clemson, at Navy, BC, Miami, and at Pitt. I mean, that's a dang good schedule. I'll give Notre Dame credit. You purse your lips. You disagree.
Okay. Was there anybody that's currently I didn't. You read them so fastly. Is there anybody in the top?
No, but
is Ohio State on there?
No.
Indiana on there?
I point out this is 2028, and you're looking at
A&M, Alabama. Was Alabama on there?
Jim,
Georgia.
Jim, listen to me, please. Please,
okay.
please, if I may. Arkansas is on there. Yes.
Okay.
You're at your Notre Dame schedule. Texas, Arkansas.
Texas is good.
Auburn. Well, again, I'm talking 2028. We're not playing these games tomorrow.
Okay.
2028. Texas, Arkansas, Auburn, Virginia Tech, Clemson, Miami, and Pitt. I think it's a good schedule.
I think it's a really good schedule.
Yeah. Mr. Underwhelmed by Everything is going to take shots at it, but that's a good schedule if you're Notre Dame.
It's a really good schedule.
We do scheduling so stupidly in football. They have to do these things years in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, final thing. Forrester wanted to play this one. Tyler, are you ready to hit this? The cut you have queued up. This is Dan Orlovsky. You guys were talking about this in the chat room. Orlovsky gets a bad rap that occasionally there was one moment on McAfee years ago, maybe it was last year, but it seems years ago now, where maybe in his transit, maybe one slip past the goalie, a little passing of the gas. The chat room was joking that they thought they heard Orlovsky again, and you be the judge.
I honestly think it creates like a little bit of a futuristic problem. One, how can they pay Quinnen and re-sign George Pickens?
Was that it? That was him saying one.
Was that what it was? Was that where I was supposed to hear the fart?
Give me Forrester's mic. That was just him saying one.
That was it. That was what the chat was saying.
No, you can see his mouth.
No,
I can't believe we're calling this guy out.
Not even close.
I honestly think it creates like a little bit of a futuristic problem. One.
Yeah, that's
how
all.
How can they?
Yeah, you can see his mouth. Come on, chat.
And I think it's been proven that it wasn't the case on McAfee either. So, no on both of those.
Yeah,
no and no.
Yeah, that sounded like echo from his mic.
You could see his mouth go.
Yeah, he's one. All right, that's it for the day. We're back with you at the Rabbit Hole tomorrow in Tuscaloosa, 11 to 2. So our show starts in 23 hours at 9 a.m. Maybe Brooks will send out a tweet reminding, hey, we're not live right now. We're live coming up at 11. So 11 o'clock tomorrow. Thanks to our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We'll see you in Tuscaloosa tomorrow.